Hello beautiful souls and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about a message from your future self. So you're going to choose the pile that you are the most drawn towards. We have group number 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So you can take a moment to pause the video if you need to in order to find the pile that you are the most called towards. If you like to choose with crystals on the cards, we are also going to add some crystals on here to make it easier. But if you like to choose without crystals, go ahead and pause the video to find out which pile you are the most called to. And then there's going to be timestamps linked down below in the comment box as well as the description box so that you can skip right ahead to your personal reading and find out what your message is from your future self. So let's go ahead and pop some crystals on these cards. All right, my loves, if you like to choose with crystals, here are our crystal options. So over on group number 1, we have some aqua aura quartz. Group number 2, we have some peacock ore. Group number 3, we have some sunset aura quartz, and then group number 4, we have some angel aura quartz. So again, take a moment, pause the video if you would like in order to find the pile that you are the most called towards. Then once you're done choosing, you can then scroll down to the comment box or the description box to find the timestamp that's going to be linked to your specific card so you can skip right ahead to watch your personal reading. And with that being said, let's go ahead and hop right into today's video. So group 1, we have Lilith, waxing gibbous moon, and then the first house. So with Lilith coming out as sort of your first card here, the message from spirit, the message from your future self is indicating that there is some sort of like inner desires that you have that want to come out that have maybe been repressed because maybe it's not, you know, how we were raised, or maybe there's certain desires sitting within you that maybe are not so widely accepted by society, or maybe it's just that we're wanting things that maybe other people around us, they're not in alignment with. It just seems like you have a uniqueness about you that's been really dying and just wanting to come out. And maybe we've been just repressing it for a long time. Maybe we've just been like, no, I'm not worthy of that. I'm not deserving of that. Or I'm scared of other people's judgment. Or I just don't want to go after it because maybe I don't believe it's really possible. So we've repressed certain things. For whatever reason, there is desires that you have within that are really wanting to come out. And I also feel like there's certain aspects of your personality, certain expressions of yourself that are really wanting to come out, but we've almost been denying it, or we just haven't really allowed it for whatever reason. Again, maybe we're scared of judgment. Maybe it's just out of our normal realm. Maybe we're scared of like shocking other people. Whatever the case may be, there's certain things that whenever Lilith appears that we're just holding within and stopping from coming out. And your future self wants you to realign yourself. The waxing gibbous moon indicates that we are building ourselves into something new. Your future self is letting you know that these repressed desires are going to find a way out in some way, shape, or form. And it's almost like you're building yourself and realigning to a new future. Your future self wants you to realign to a new future that enables you to express these desires and to explore them in a healthy way. And to also begin to embody who you really are. Some of you, I feel like you repress a lot of yourself in order to people please. In order to please other people, in order to not step on any toes, in order to not disappoint other people. You've almost sort of denied who you really are, and you tend to kind of repress a little bit of that. Maybe we don't feel comfortable being our true selves for whatever reason. And your future self is telling you to begin embodying that. The first house of I am, the first house deals with you, who you are, what your identity is. There's almost been like a repressed identity, and if we can explore it in a healthy way, then we're going to be able to embody that more and become in alignment with who we really are. That it's the journey of finding who you are, and your future self wants you to explore that more so that you can begin to find out who that is. But the only way to find out who that is to start kind of searching for that and starting to embody those desires that we have within, beginning to explore them again in healthy ways. That's going to be what enables us to find who we are, to embody more confidence, and to begin taking action in the direction that really aligns with us. It's time to begin nurturing yourself and going through an evolution. There's an evolution that your future self is like, yes, you've been feeling it from within. Let's go after it. Let's embody it. So let's see what else we get here. Our next two cards, we have the card of boundaries coming up, which I'm not even surprised. You're in your shell, like this armadillo, and the fact that it's curled up like this, you're in a shell, in protection mode almost. You've been maybe protecting yourself. Maybe some of you are scared of getting hurt, scared of rejection, scared of judgment. And so there's been these boundaries where we're keeping ourselves in a shell. But whenever we repress things, that's unhealthy. Also, whenever we let ourselves just shine without a care in the world, sometimes that can go a little bit too far and become unhealthy as well. There needs to be a fine line of the healthy ability to explore, discover, and express yourself so that you're shining your light. There's a calling for you to begin shining your light. And it's interesting because the waxing moon that we have, the waxing indicates the growing moon. So we're moving towards a full moon, right? Which indicates that we're coming out of a new moon. There's been a new feeling arising within you for quite some time. And the waxing gibbous indicates that we are growing the ability to shine our light more and more, right? Just as the moon goes through these phases to become full, you are on a journey right now of finding your fullness, finding your fulfillment. But the only way to find that is to begin to step outside of your comfort zone a little bit and to also begin to embody things that might be out of our norm. Lilith indicates kind of becoming a little bit of the rebel. And also the first house. The first house and Lilith both are a little bit like rebel energy, where we're taking action and diving into things because we have the pull, we have the calling, and allowing ourselves to discover and experience something new. Becoming so confident in you where you don't need the permission of other people is going to help you greatly, especially with this Lilith energy. Like your future self is like, embody this. Embody what you're feeling without the fear of judgment or rejection or anything like that. It's time to kind of open up your boundaries a bit. Of course, boundaries are also healthy. We can use boundaries in a healthy way, but when we use them to completely like go into protection mode and we begin repressing who we are, that's when boundaries become unhealthy. We shouldn't ever use boundaries to repress who we are. There's an aspect of you that's really wanting to be explored and to be discovered. We also have the universe. I think right now, your future self wants you to know that your choices right now are pulling the strings of your future. And they're also creating what your reality and your universe is going to be. There's certain things that you're currently attached to that your future self says you don't want to bring those into your future. And I feel like you know deep down inside what those things are. What are those things that you are currently attached to that you know you don't want to be a part of your future? There's current strings that maybe you're attached to, certain relationships that we're currently stringed and tied to, certain, I don't know, other things that we just feel like we're, again, attached to that we don't necessarily want to bring into our future. What are those things? Because as we can begin to define them right now, we can begin focusing on how can I begin to detach from those, and how can I begin taking those strings and then attaching them to what I do want to create in my life. You're almost like the puppet master of your universe right now, and the decisions and the choices that you're making. Sorry, I just totally dropped the lens cap of my camera, but it's fine. But yeah, anyway, the decisions right now that you're making, the choices right now that you're making are you know, creating the outcome of your future. And of course, it's always doing that. We're always creating the outcomes of our future based on the choices that we're making today. And there's an energy of coming out of your shell and going into the spotlight, actually. Going into the spotlight is something that's really coming up for you, group 1. And it's interesting, your group number 1, we also have the first house. It's time to start putting you first right now. Your future self, ooh, strong message. It's time to start putting yourself first. Especially if you have a habit and tendency to put other people's wants and needs before your own. Your future self is like, no, it is time to put you first. It's time to put the spotlight on you. And it's also time to start shining your light. No longer repressing it. You've been repressing some of your light in order to be accepted, in order to not step on anybody's toes, in order to people please, in order to make other people happy. You've been repressing some of who you are. And you've been feeling the repercussions of that, group 1. You've been feeling the repercussions of that. And it's coming out in this form of unhappiness. It's coming out in this form of feeling like you're not quite yourself. Coming out in a form where we feel a bit lost. But as you begin to awaken, to remove those more kind of unneeded boundaries, the more you begin to express this more sort of confident Lilith energy, the I am energy, to start stepping into who you are, my goodness, are you ever going to change the strings of your future? Change the outcomes that you're getting. You're in this big manifestation process right now, in fact, because again, building, waxing is the building of a full moon, the building of your current chapter in your book, right? Your book of life. Let's say that this book is referencing your life, right? You're currently building this next chapter, and it's time for you to step into embodying who you are. You have certain callings, and the energy in order to confidently embody who you are is to embody the Lilith energy, to embody the I am energy. So tap into the Lilith energy. Lilith can be a little bit of a rebel, but there's a healthy side of Lilith. There's also a toxic side of Lilith. So we're not talking about the toxic side of Lilith, we're talking about the healthy side of Lilith. The healthy side of Lilith does not repress her light. The positive side of Lilith is that she knows who she is, and she expresses that without worrying about other people not liking her. Some of you worry that some people won't like you, or that you may be judged for being your true self. Lilith doesn't care. So the positive aspect of Lilith would be that, sorry if this is taking me a while to kind of like dissect. There's an energy here that I'm trying to dissect into perfect words so you can understand. So embodying that, where you're no longer allowing your fears to control and become a barrier on you. Allowing yourself to be you. Because one of the most important things to know is that if other people don't like you when you're being your true self, why do we want them in our life anyway? That means that they're not on our same path. They're not in alignment with us. So why are we trying to change ourselves for other people who may not be in that full alignment with us anyway? Why are we trying to please them in order for us to be liked? Because then we're just kind of living a fake life, and we have these fake connections, these fake friendships, where they don't really know the true us because we're pretending to be someone we're not in order to be accepted. Then it creates all this fakeness around us, and then we feel lost because we're like, I don't feel in alignment with myself. I don't feel like I'm being me. I don't feel like the people around me understand me. And of course they don't, because we're not allowing our true light to shine. Then it makes us feel uncomfortable a lot of the times. It makes us feel very uncomfortable because we're like, I don't feel like anybody understands me. I don't feel like I'm being my true self. I don't feel like anybody knows who I am. It's like wearing a false mask. And that gets really uncomfortable after a long time. And then we don't even know who we are because we've been wearing this mask for so long. We've been trying to uphold a certain image, trying to get all these people to like us, putting on all these filters that we're just like, who have I become, right? We get so lost in that. So Spirit really wants to call you into kind of seeing this and becoming who you want to be. So yeah, that's what we have there. Let's get into more cards that we have for you. So our tarot cards that we have the Nine of Swords coming up. The Nine of Swords indicates that we have a lot of anxiety and worry about certain things, almost like nightmares. Sometimes like nightmares or worries that are really just bogging up our mind. If this has been you lately, one of the biggest advices from Spirit is, again, this is going to go away the more that you begin to shine your light and the more that you begin to, you know, be yourself, regardless if you're going to step on certain people's toes, regardless if you may not get along with certain people anymore. Because why are we trying to make someone else happy in order to just like us, right? Because then the true us isn't being liked anyway. So like what's even the point of that, right? So this is about being the true you, being the authentic you, following that desire, even though, sure, some people might not like us, but some people might not like us no matter what we do, right? There's no pleasing everybody, so we might as well follow what we desire. Also, there's been certain worries that you have in your life, certain worries about your future, and worries about like, oh, if I go and do this, it almost feels for you like you're gonna lose control. I think a lot of you, the reason why you repress your true self is because you know, the things that we can repress, it's almost like we're able to control these external circumstances. We're able to control whether or not somebody likes us, whether or not certain things happen. But when we allow ourselves to shine our true light, it means we may not be in control of everything outside of us anymore. And that's a pretty scary thing. It brings us a lot of anxiety. So some of you have been struggling with embracing your true self. Some of you have been struggling with embracing your full light because there's been a fear around, well, shit, that means like everything else outside of me, I no longer have as much control over it. That means certain things are going to be out of my control at that point. But if I uphold this false mask, if I uphold this, you know, being very protective and closing myself off, it means sometimes we can kind of control and manipulate the external. But how is that serving you in any way other than protecting your ego, right? It doesn't serve us in any way. In fact, some of us, we may have anxiety around being out of control, but it's giving you anxiety to stay in that control. Because again, we're not being our true selves. We're not allowing our true selves to come out. And that's anxiety in itself. We feel lost. So the better choice then is to let go of all of this control. Let healthy boundaries be there. But at the same time, let's follow our desires, because how freaking amazing is that? Sure, we may lose control over external circumstances, but why do we want control over them anyway? It's like, whatever, let me just follow my own path and make my own path. Let you be in control of you, right? Because this exchange that your future self wants you to start seeing, this exchange is exchanging being in control of the outside world for control over you. Right now, you're being in control of the external, protecting the ego, but at the same time, you've lost control of yourself. Like, now you can't be who you really want to be. But you can trade that. You can trade that to being, let's be in control of me again. Let's embody the I am. Let's take my power back and allow me to be me. Allow me to live my best life. And if the external's unhappy with that, whatever, it'll guide you to what's really in alignment with you. The more that you be yourself, the more that you're going to find out who is in alignment with you and who is not, what circumstances are in alignment with you and what circumstances are not. And the more that you be yourself, the more that you're going to align to the things that are in alignment with the true you. And the more that you do that, that's a much better outcome than trying to wear this false mask in order to be in control of other people liking us, right? Sorry, this message is taking a while here. We've barely gotten into some of the rest of the cards that we're going to get into today, but this message just really wanted to come out. So here we are. The next card that we have is the Ace of Swords. So double sword cards, lots of air energy in this reading, which deals with the mind. It deals with speaking. So sharing your voice, communicating your true thoughts, communicating your true self, rather than letting your true self almost be against you and you repressing it, and almost like every time that your true self wants to come out, it's almost like you've been putting a knife there being like, nope, don't come out, because if you do that, we might get judged. We might lose control of the external. So how about let's, instead of putting the swords towards ourselves and continuing to repress ourselves, let's turn the sword the other way and cut away the attachments to all of these things that we've been trying to be in control of. Look at this. We've been trying to be so in control of the outcomes of our reality that we've been almost facing the sword towards ourselves, cutting ourselves down, repressing ourselves. Anytime we've done something, we're like, how dare I do that? How dare I show my true self? How dare I try to explore what I want? Because then I lose control of the external, right? So instead of that, let's cut the strings to that. Let's cut the strings to that so that we can actually just instead be the master of ourselves. And in turn, your reality is going to be much more favorable to you. Because naturally, now we're going to get into alignment with a reality that's in alignment with our true selves. That's how we're going to do that. I'm also hearing that it's time to start expressing your voice. But there's beautiful ways of expressing your voice, right? So we don't need to do it in a way that hurts other people, even if we're expressing, who we truly are. We don't need to hurt others. We can express ourselves with love. We can express ourselves with compassion. We can express our truth in a beautiful way. And if other people don't accept it, whatever, right? We also have the next card of the Hierophant. This is stepping up into, this is actually so interesting. The Hierophant is the representation of societal standards. Also the representation of higher learning, being proper, upholding yourself to higher values, higher standards. The interesting thing here is I feel like your future self is telling you and asking you, what do you truly value, and what are the values you want to embody for your future in order to have the best possible future for you. This is stepping up into what your values are and building yourself up to where you are the creator and decider of you. You're creating you. How do you want to create yourself? And in creating yourself the way that you want to be truly, the you that's, connected to what your soul really desires and embracing your light, that's going to be where you're in total alignment. And you're also going to find, I feel like this card's also representing, you are going to find a new, almost society, a new sort of friend group, a new, a new reality that's in alignment with the true you. Don't be afraid of losing the things that aren't in alignment with you anyway. That's a huge thing that Spirit and your future self wants you to know, is don't be afraid of losing the things that aren't in alignment with you anyway. Okay? We also have King of Cups here. I think a lot of you are deep empaths. A lot of you are really deep empaths. And the King of Cups, this is about you getting back into control of you, filling up your cup. Look at this. Look at this cup here, and it's totally filled. You know the expression of like filling your own cup first? You're on a journey right now. And within the next 2 years, your life is going to look incredibly, incredibly different. In the next 2 years, your life is going to look wildly different. And I almost highly recommend, if you can, if you have a phone where you can add into your calendar a reminder 2 years from now to reflect on your life from today and to see how much it's changed, let me tell you, when you come back to this video, if you come back to this reading in 2 years from now, you're gonna be like, oh damn, yeah, I changed my life a lot. And your future self is almost, congratulating you for the work that you're doing right now. The work that you're doing right now is going to be incredibly transformative and life-changing for you, where you're going to start filling up your own cup. Let me tell you, you're going to be so much more fulfilled because you're on this fulfillment journey for this next 2 years of filling your cup higher and higher. Over these next 2 years, your cup is going to be filled higher and higher and higher because you are now focused on what are those desires that I want to go after, and let me actually go after them. This is your transformation where you're breaking out of old patterns. It is going to serve you so greatly, group number one, wow. Wow, 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 okay? You're on this journey of literally filling your own cup rather than filling other people's, rather than using your light to fill other people's, to make them happy. And again, it's so nice to make other people happy. It's so nice to do things for others. But what's toxic, what's bad, is using your light, diminishing it, repressing it in order to fill other people's cups. You are taking your potential of fulfillment away, which we can't really serve people in the same way when we're running on almost empty and we're continuing to repress ourselves in order to fill other people's cups. That's a toxic way of doing it. A great way of uplifting others, a great way of helping other people fill their cup is when we're already so fulfilled that we inspire others to fulfill their own, rather than giving. Because, for example, the expression of, would you rather give a man a fish, say there's a starving man, okay? Would you rather give him one fish in order to make him feel good? Or would you rather teach him how to fish so that for the rest of his life he's set up? This is the same concept of helping other people through either repressing your own light in order to give them a temporary feeling of fulfillment and pleasure of being oh, this person's on the same page as me, even though it's a fake place because we're not actually truly being ourselves and we're just being people pleasers and it's not actually authentic. Or do we fulfill our own self to the point where we're so happy, we're so fulfilled that it almost inspires, and through our actions we teach people through our actions, because everyone's observing everyone, right? And through our own actions of serving ourselves and being ourselves and giving ourselves permission to shine our own light, we inspire other people to do the same. That's like teaching the man to fish so that he can have fulfillment and food always. Fill your own cup. That does more for others than repressing your light to give them temporarily some form of satisfaction. When we fulfill our own cup, and then it pours over to inspiring others that, oh shit, I can fill my own cup too, it's way more valuable. Way more valuable. Okay? So I'm going to restart my camera really quick. It's about to cut out, and then we're going to go into our other cards. All right. We're back. So our last tarot card, we have the Queen of Pentacles here. The Queen of Pentacles is so confident in herself. She also knows very well how to provide for herself. Right now, you're learning how to give to yourself, how to provide to yourself so that you fill up. And you're learning how to provide for yourself in all sorts of different ways. So that's a beautiful message we have coming up there. Let's go ahead and shuffle this deck of cards and see if we can get some more info on your reading. I worked so hard making these cards so perfect, and they're still good. Okay, so we have the law of creation. Wow. Does this ever fit in with all the messages we've had for you so far? So the law of creation. Focus your mind to create your deepest desire. Focus your mind to create your deepest desire. Your future self is calling you to start doing that. Your future self. Tap into that future self that is liberated from fear. Tap into the future self of you that is liberated from limiting beliefs and is living the desires that you have. Tap into that future you right now. See how that person feels, how that person is living. And truly let go of limited thinking here. Let go of limited thinking. So don't think about the future you that's like kind of living a bit more free. Think about the future you that literally has your deepest desires. Tap into that, because that is the future you that's coming through in this reading right now. Not the future you that kind of has what you desire, the future you that has literal, like shockingly deepest desires wilder than your wildest dreams. Tap into that version of you, okay? That is the you that's coming through. The law of creation. The law of creation, we're always creating our future. We're literally always creating our future. It's time to detach from upholding a false image of you. It's time to detach from that. And it's time to detach from limited thinking around yourself and what you're capable of. You're capable of so much more. And then focus your mind on that future version of you. Focus on what those things are, how that a future version of you walks, talks, upholds themselves, what they do in their day, what are all those things, and how can we begin taking steps towards embodying that? Because you're going to be embodying that over these next 2 years. And let me tell you that over the next 4 years, life is going to be wildly different for you in the best possible way. 4 years from now, wildly different. Imagine if everything went so right for you for 4 whole years, where you'd be if things just continued to go so damn right for you. Imagine that. Imagine that even when something seems like it's not going right, it's actually going right in the big picture. It's actually creating the biggest blessing you could have ever imagined. Imagine that, because that's what's happening for you right now. All right, we also have... Look at this next card. Look at this. The law of manifestation. Let go of trying to control life. Damn. I literally can't believe this card came up. What have we been talking about through this whole video? Let go of trying to control life. Oh, we've been literally talking about that concept this whole time. And allow miracles. Damn. Like, my goodness, I'm speechless. I'm literally speechless right now. The fact that we have that card coming up, literally speechless. So let go of trying to control life and allow miracles. We literally stop miracles from happening because we're trying so hard to control the outside that we're not allowing the best possible thing to take place, because we're thinking that we think we know what the best possible thing is, because we're thinking very limitedly. We're thinking, how can I avoid pain? How can I avoid my worst fears of coming true? Let me just close off my light. Let me close that off so that I don't step on people's toes, so that I don't feel rejection, so that I don't feel judgment, so that I don't feel like I make a mistake. You're trying so hard in the current moment to possibly, protect yourself from those fears of rejection, judgment, all these different things, failure. Some of you feel failure, so you've been closing off your light, taking such tiny little steps, tiny little moves, being so cautious about it, being so in control, because we're so scared of our fears coming true, that we haven't allowed miracles to happen. When we open up, we let go of being in control, and we just allow that light to shine, and we let the light guide us of ourselves, of our soul. Sure, we may run into some of those fears. We may experience some rejection, but that rejection will be divine, because that rejection means that that thing wasn't in alignment with your true light. So of course we're going to experience rejection, because that's the miracle of reality removing the things that are not in alignment with you. Right? Does that make sense? Sorry, I'm getting like so passionate right now, but does that make sense? When we experience rejection, when we experience failure, if our full light is shining when we experience those things, it is a divine miracle happening, because it's removing the things that are out of alignment. If you can get in full alignment with you, you allow your light to shine, and you're in full alignment with yourself, your light, your being. Anytime that something doesn't work out, it's because it wasn't an energetic alignment, which means it wasn't what you would truly want anyway. So allow those divine miracles to take place, because it's realigning your reality to be in alignment with like the best possible outcome for you. So hopefully that's making sense. Let's go ahead and shuffle another deck of cards here, and then we're going to get into some spiritual advice cards. This reading has been long, so if you're still here, like, congratulations, and thanks for putting the work in to yourself and to your own future and all of that. So we have the balsamic moon right here, a time for healing. The balsamic moon is the phase just before a new moon, like the last sliver of the moon, hours, minutes, and maximum 1 day before the full new moon. That's a balsamic moon. This is a time for healing, because there's a new phase coming up for you. So what chapter are you closing out? This is a chapter of higher learning where you're closing out an old pattern, an old habit, and allowing yourself to, again, fully embrace who you really are, fully embracing you. No longer repressing those desires, no longer repressing your voice, no longer repressing your true thoughts, feelings, callings. It's a time for healing. Heal yourself. Heal the part of you that's so scared to let go of control. Heal that, because then you allow the true creativity to start flowing in, and you allow the law of manifestation to take place, which says, let go of trying to control life and allow miracles to happen. See, any last cards here? All right, let's go with it. We have quite a few here, but let's go with it. Your future self has a lot to say for you, group one. So we have the new moon in Cancer. You and your loved ones are safe. You are safe. Your loved ones are safe. Things are going to, shift in your life as you begin embodying the new you. But just so you know, you and your loved ones are safe. Things are going to be fine. They are going to turn out just fine. We also have the new moon in Taurus. Prosperity lies ahead. Prosperity. This is talking about money, wealth, finances, feeling prosperous inside. This could be talking about your health too. We can be prosperous in so many different ways, shapes, and forms. Prosperity is ahead of you. The more that you embrace who you really are, there's prosperity in that, because you're going to be filling your cup. And when your cup is full, that's when you're feeling abundant, and that's when you're in alignment with abundance and in alignment with prosperity. More will begin flowing to you. Okay, the answers you need are coming. The answers you need are coming. The more that you begin to express who you really are, your inner feelings, your inner emotions, the more that you're going to be in alignment with feeling your intuition, and those answers are going to come to you so much easier. It's just going to be like right there in your head. We also have full moon in Cancer. A personal issue reaches resolution. I mean, we couldn't end this on a better card. That literally just makes so much sense. So a personal issue reaches resolution. Whatever personal issues you've been going through, that's about to reach resolution for you, okay? I know we keep shuffling more and more cards. I had so many card decks like planned out to use in this video, and I still want to use them even though this video has already been so long. But you know what? We're here. We're doing it. Let's see. We have the card of opportunities. Unfurl like a fern, even without warm sunlight. Don't wait for the right time, because there's never going to be a right time until we just begin embracing the right time, until we create the right time. We get to decide what the right time is. So stop waiting around. Unfurl like a fern, even without warm sunlight. Even if there's no invitation for you to step into who you really are, don't wait for the invitation to happen. Just be your own invitation. Be your own invitation to just start being who you are. You don't need to wait for other people's permission. You don't need to wait for other people to tell you that it's okay. Unfurl like a fern, even without warm sunlight. Make your own opportunity. And then strength. When your roots are deep, you need not fear the storm. This is about creating deep roots in your new identity and who you really, really are. When you root deep in that, that's when you don't have to fear what other people may think of you. You don't need to fear a storm happening. You don't need to fear chaos or shifts, because your roots are so deep, so trusting in who you are, so trusting in your path, that you don't need to fear when a storm comes. So this is about rooting deeper into who you really are. Begin rooting deep into that. And I'm going to share with you a very quick meditation that you can do right now to begin sinking deeper into the new version of you. So we're going to do this. I know this video's been long. Thank you for sticking with me through this. But your future self's definitely calling me to share this quick little meditation with you. So if it is safe for you to do so right now, if you're not driving or anything like that, feel free to close your eyes, take a very cleansing deep breath in, feel that good white light cleansing your body, and exhale. As you exhale, begin to let go of fears. Begin to feel like the energy of the old you is exiting. Begin to feel that any blocks that you feel in your life are coming out with your breath. Take one more cleansing deep breath in, breathing in that beautiful pure white light. Even imagine that the true you, the liberated version of you, is being brought in with the breath and being activated with that beautiful white light, being activated within you. And as you exhale, let go of anything that was holding you back. Okay? Now imagine, start to imagine the version of you that has no fear, the version of you that fully embraces everything that they desire, the version of you that's living your wildest dreams. And I mean your wildest dreams. Go beyond your imagination right now. The version of you that you could write in a fantasy book, right? That version of you. Tap into that. How does that person act? How does that person talk? How does that person walk? How do other people interact with you? How do other people perceive you? And this is where you get to decide. What kind of light are you? What do you look like as this highest version of you? Start to tap into that energy and that feeling, and now imagine that you are rooting into it. Imagine that that energy is beginning to soak into every cell of your body, transforming it to that highest, greatest, and best version of you. Through every cell of your body, you are now transforming. And you let go of the old version of you. You are no longer that. You are just this new version, and that is soaking into every cell. And as it soaks into every cell, it completely diminishes the old fear, the old limitation. You now radiate so much beautiful, gorgeous light. You feel that radiation. You feel it transforming your physical body. You feel it transforming your mentality. You feel it transforming your spirit, your soul. And you feel it radiating out of you and beginning to trickle out and transform your entire reality. You're transforming your mindset, and ask yourself right now, what is a message that this new energy has for you? What action or actions does this new you, does this new energy want you to begin taking in order to embody it more in this physical reality? What actions does this new version of you want you to begin taking? This is you. What is this message coming through? What new action can you take in your life or actions to begin embracing and becoming this new energy more permanently? What is that? Remember that. And how are you going to begin doing that immediately so that you never go back to the old you? Root into it deeper. Feel as if you're rooting into this so deeply in your soul. You feel it through your whole being. It is so liberating. It is filled with so much love, so much light. Okay? And you embody it. You feel it locking in to every cell of your body. You take one last cleansing deep breath in, and as you do, you feel it locking in even deeper into your body, and you feel yourself radiating even more. And as you breathe out, it is locked in. You can begin to open your eyes, embrace this new you, maybe write down those epiphanies that you got around the actions that you need to take. Maybe you can come back to this video, do that meditation again if you need to. Sending you so much love, my beautifuls, my beautiful souls. We also have, I totally forgot, I pulled out these other 3 cards like earlier before we went into this video, and I want to get into these 3 cards too. There's just, wow, I swear this reading is going to be like a whole hour long, group ones. Hopefully you're still here with me. But there's 3 more cards that I totally forgot that we have. So we have the card of I need to reach out. This card I feel like is telling you that you need to reach out beyond your current self. Reach out to that new you, to that new future. Begin taking action, begin reaching out to that, to bring it to blossom. Unfurl like a fern, even without warm sunlight. We also have karmic. You're letting go of old karma right now. Oops, also, sorry. Need to change the lighting here. Okay, let's go with that. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so the card of karma. You're letting go out of old karma, and you are transforming. If you've been through some hard times lately, if you've been kind of going through some hard times, that was some unfinished karma, but you're transforming out of that. I really, and I mean this when I say this, the old karma that you've been sort of dealing with and going through right now, even though you may not know where that's coming from, it may be kind of confusing, and you don't even need to figure that out or know. Some of you may know, but that karma's done. When this card is coming out, you are completing a karmic cycle. You are going to that full moon phase right now, which is what we've kind of been talking about. You've been the waxing gibbous moon, which is one of the first cards that we had come out. You are completing an old karmic state. So you are not going to go backwards into what you've currently been dealing with. The current struggles that you've been dealing with in your life, that karma is done. You've been learning that lesson. And that is about to close out permanently. And now your new chapter is about stepping into this new highest version of you, where you are shining your light and you are absolutely coming into alignment with what your soul really wants you to be doing. You are up-leveling yourself in this reality right now and aligning to some of your deepest soul's purposes on this planet, group 1. I know this sounds like a lot, but there's such a powerful energy for you in this reading, group 1. Like I can't even. You're literally group 1, so you're going into a new cycle. The numerology of 1 is a new cycle, and it's also where it's a type of master number. It's not necessarily it's not like a master number as in master number 11, but it's a type of master number because it's a new cycle. And it always comes up when we've mastered something else, and it's also connected to the tarot card of the Magician. You are completely transforming and letting go of an old karmic cycle. The current struggles you have been dealing with, like I've been saying, are not going to repeat. They're not repeating. You are blossoming out of that. The struggles of the caterpillar are not the same as the struggles of the moth. They can't be. They're completely two different things. You were the caterpillar. You're going through caterpillar struggles while you've been learning. You're going through a transformation now. Your life is going to be entirely different. Okay? And then the last card that we have is influence and distractions. Don't let other people influence you, yourself, and what you desire to do. That is the last message that your future self has for you right now. What feels positive for you? What feels negative? Don't listen to the negative influence. This is time to switch it to following what makes you feel good. Listen to your emotions whenever you hear something, whenever you feel something. If it's negative, it means it's out of alignment with what your soul wants. When it's positive, it's in alignment with what your soul wants. Look at your emotions. They've been telling you what's out of alignment, and they've been telling you what's in alignment. Don't let fears hold you back either. Those fears are out of alignment because they're negative, but it doesn't mean that the thing that you're wanting and to go after is negative or out of alignment. The thing that you desire, that's a positive emotion. Your fears, your fear of negativity, your fear of a negative outcome, your fear of failure, that's a negative emotion. That means it's out of alignment. That means that fear, remove the fear. That's not in alignment with you. Don't let distractions get in the way of what you really want. Don't let procrastination get in the way of what you really want. Now's the time to really commit to this new life, to this new you, to let your full self shine. And again, write down what those actions were that you got within the epiphanies of that meditation. And if you need to do it again, do that meditation again. But write those actions down and start taking action on that immediately so that you transform into that new you. Okay, group number 1. So that is the messages that we have for you from your future self. So many different messages in there, but I hope you enjoyed this video and this reading. I am sending you so much love, and hopefully I get to see you in my next video. I'm so excited for the transformations that you are about to make in your life, and I will see you later. Bye! Alright, so group number 2, if you chose this pile, then this is going to be a reading, so let's get right into it. Okay, so group 2, we have detour, stand your ground, and options are kept open as your first 3 cards. This center card represents your challenge. This is your solution and outcome, and this is sort of kind of what's going on. So the detour card being the representation of what's going on, there's a shift happening in your life. You may already be experiencing, and you may be in the midst of this shift and this redirection, or it may be something that's right on your horizon. Of course, you're going to know exactly which part you fit into that, but there's some sort of shift happening for you, and your future self wants you to know that there is a detour on your way to your destination. This is a side journey, kind of almost like a side quest that's leading you somewhere new, that's going to bring you amazing growth, and I mean that in a great way. I'm seeing that you're about to discover a new treasure through this detour. Also, excuse my throat. I've been drinking a smoothie. There's like definitely some seeds stuck in my throat. This always happens to me in readings. I always like eat something at some point before another reading and my throat always gets kind of funny after. But yeah, anyway, I always take things not as coincidences, but as messages. So there's something in your throat chakra feels either overactive or underactive right now. Some of you may be really trying to force things right now, and others of you may be really like I don't know how to control anything. I don't know how to even speak my voice. So some of you are kind of stuck on this area where there may be some sort of imbalance in your throat chakra, where it may feel like there's something that you need to clear. There's something that you need to express and get out and clear this airway so it becomes more balanced. So yeah, that message is coming up. But this being your challenge card actually is kind of connected to what we were just talking about. So stand your ground. This card being in the spot of challenge. When it comes to standing your ground, I'm getting a message that we need to allow for more flow. I think that there's been this need for control lately in your life, and this desire to force things to almost stay where they are. Like, we're almost scared of change. We're scared of things taking a detour. We're scared of things not going the way that we've planned. Your future self is telling you right now that if you feel a lot of resistance to something and life keeps forcing a shift or a detour or a change, to begin to embrace it. Your solution is options are kept open. This is your solution card, is to be open to other options. Be open to other options right now. And let me explain why this is coming up. So there's about to be a discovery of treasure along this detour that keeps coming up in your life. There is a transition and something that's putting you on some sort of other path right now, or it somehow may feel as if life is taking a little bit of a detour, not quite going as we plan. There's literally treasure on that path. Treasure on that path. This is leading you to discovering a new inner gift. Oh, I got goosebumps. Oh my gosh, I got such heavy goosebumps. Goosebumps always mean truth from spirit. So there's a discovery of a new inner gift that you are going to be finding along this detour. 3 months from now, I feel like there's going to be a sense of this coming up in your life, a sense of this new gift or talent or interest or piece of treasure that you're meant to be finding. Angel numbers are going to be surrounding you. And whenever you see angel numbers coming up, it is a reminder from spirit to trust the process, trust the flow. Keep your options open. You're going to be branching out into new areas that you can't even perceive of right now, because the only way that you can perceive of them is going on this detour where a bunch of new paths are going to open up. Imagine that you're always going on the same path, the same road every time. Let's use a really good example to really help you visualize this. So imagine going to the grocery store, driving to the grocery store. And we know that path really well. We know the most efficient way to get there. We use it every time because it's the most efficient way. It's the quickest way to go and get groceries. But imagine that all of a sudden that road closes down and you're being forced to take a new way. And let's say all the ways that you knew before are closed off. You can't go that way. You're going to have to go a brand new way that you've never been before, and it might be way out of the way. It might add some time to, your journey to get to the grocery store. It might add quite a bit of time. But on this detour, let's say that you're discovering this new path, you're forced to take this new path. But then along that way, you discover the most amazing thing that you've ever seen. And then there's another path that opens up. Another road that branches off that is even more enticing, because we're like, wait a minute, that road looks like it's leading to something amazing. And let's say that there's a sign there that says, like, this is leading you to the gemstone crystal cave forest full of magic and wonder and fairies and magic. And let's say it says something like that. And let's say that that's really intriguing. We're like, what? And then our mind is like, okay, well, F the grocery store, because what's this? This is looking way cooler. And let's say that there's also some magical, I don't know, grocery store there, but it's like more magical with like better food and better other things and whatnot. So then we decide to go on that path, and we're like, wait a second, I never even knew this existed. How did I not know this? I would have never discovered this if all of these other roads didn't close off. I would have never known. I would have never thought of going in this direction before. That is what is happening for you right now. That's what's happening for you. There's a new detour coming in your life. And even though you might be, at first you're like, what an inconvenience. This sucks. Why is this happening? Oh my God, this is going to like add more time to the thing, and this is going to be annoying, and I don't know what to do about this. How do I fix this? How do I just take my easy way again? Spirit, your future self is literally coming through like, no, trust the process, like enjoy it, because this path is aligning you to discovering a new treasure, a new skill, a new gift, a new path that is going to be so much better than the old path that you're no longer going to be upset about this detour. Like, you're no longer going to be like, why is this so inconvenient? It's going to be like, I am so glad that that happened in my life. That is what this is leading you towards, and your future self wants you to know that right now, group 2. This detour. If things are currently not working out as planned, if things are currently not giving you the results that you've wanted, if things are currently calling you to kind of take another route, to take another way, if things have been pushing you in the direction of like, hey, we might need to revise this, replan, and redo, trust it, because that is something that's leading you. Keep your options open right now. Don't force, don't be rigid. And in your life right now, your future self wants you to know to start doing things in a different way, especially if you've not really been getting the results that you've wanted in a realm of a certain area of your life. If you've not been getting the results that you've wanted, keep your options open right now. Keep them way open and start to explore new things. Start to explore new ways. And don't allow the fear or limiting beliefs to come in and begin controlling this in a way that makes you closed off again. This is time for you to actually explore new roads, new realms, new places, new things, new strategies. This is a time for you to explore that. Your future self is literally like, please explore that, because you are going to be in awe where this is going to lead you. And even though as we explore new things, we may find other things that have crappy results. We may go down one road and we're like, oh, that's not very fun. But continue to explore these new branched out pathways and continue to allow yourself to branch out, because you are going to love where this leads you. You are going to love where this leads you. Continue to branch out, group number 2. Continue to branch yourself out. That is the main message from your future self, because it's going to be wild where this leads you. It's going to be so amazingly new and different and unfathomable to your current self. I got goosebumps as I said that too. So, all right, next few cards. Waxing crescent. The waxing moon always indicates like the growing moon. So for example, when a moon used to be a new moon and now it's waxing, it's becoming the full moon. So it's becoming brighter and brighter. So it's the waxing crescent. So now it's just coming out of this new phase and it's beginning to grow in a new direction into a full moon again. So this is where you're going to be exploring new realms, where there's going to be new inspiration, new creativity, growth, new accomplishments, and new learning. Some of you may even be called to branch out into learning something new. Explore that, trust it, and do it. Your future self is like, yes, yes. If there's new opportunities for new growth, new learning, go, explore, do, be free, because that's what you're meant to be doing right now. That is what you're so meant to be doing, because that's going to be leading you to the place that you're meant to be going to and meant to be exploring. Let's see what else we get. We also have Sagittarius. Oh, I love this one. This one actually fits in so well with what we were just talking about. Sagittarius is branching out, learning something new, shooting your shot, shooting your arrow to somewhere new, sending it even further away than you've ever explored before. And that is like so, this Sagittarius card and this Keep Your Options Open card are so Sagittarius. This is growth, learning, exploring new realms, expanding yourself. Sagittarius is all about expansion. And it'll lead you to abundance, because this card is also connected to Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of abundance and expansion. You are meant to be expanding yourself right now. That is why certain things are not working out for you, because those things are limited. And you might not see them as limited right now. You may see certain things in your life like, I really want that outcome. But you're not realizing that if you had that outcome, it would greatly limit what you're actually meant for. The current realm that you're seeing is in your current realm of consciousness and all the things that you've currently experienced and know about. But as you take this detour, it's going to expand your wisdom, it's going to expand your experience, it's going to expand your knowledge and your awareness. And then with that expanded awareness, you're going to see things that you've never seen before. You're going to be able to comprehend and create things that are much beyond your current level. So sometimes these detours are so divine, and that's something that's happening for you right now. And especially if you've been called to expand your knowledge and learning, if some of you have been called to maybe like take a course or to learn something new, trust that right now, because that's so connected to the Sagittarius card. If some of you have also been thinking about traveling, that's also something that's connected to this card. This is all about learning new things, experiencing new things. So anytime that you can think of something new that you've never done before, that you want to dive into and you want to expand into, that is all part of this. This is all that branching out to those new roads. I also kind of recommend, a little side recommendation here, because this is something that can also help us expand in new ways. Literally take new detours and explore new roads. Like if you're literally going grocery shopping or going to your place of work, maybe add in, you know, a few more minutes to your schedule and take a road you've never been on before. Because when you do that, when you start seeing things you haven't seen before, this also expands your mind. This also expands your creativity. You start thinking about new things. It gets you out of your current bubble and box. And when you get out of your current bubble and box, that's when your mind expands. So begin doing little small things like this and watch how it's going to begin to expand you and change you. And it's going to unlock new potentials for you. It's going to unlock completely new potentials. We also have, we have solar eclipse. Okay, the eclipse cards are so powerful. Solar eclipse is when the moon comes in front of the sun and eclipses the sun. So this is embracing change, revelations, embracing change, guys. Need I say any more? This fits in so well. Okay, embracing change, embrace the change. Don't try to keep things limited to your same current comfortable box. This is time to expand out. Don't fear expansion, and do not fear stepping outside of your comfort zone right now. You're meant to be stepping outside your comfort zone. Sagittarius. The Sagittarius energy is totally okay with stepping outside of their comfort zone. So embrace that Sagittarius Jupiter energy, where we feel safe to step outside of our comfort zone and try new things. And of course we have to do that within the realm of like, obviously things that are safe, but like, you know, such as learning something new, trying something new. Embrace that change. You're going to get revelations. This will create more courage for you. I believe that you're going to be getting more determination when it comes to expanding yourself as you begin to dive into new things. And you're going to be connecting to brand new things, brand new opportunities and potential paths. It's going to widely open you up to new things in new ways, and it's going to be amazing. This is leading you to a really amazing place here. So let's go ahead and dive into some more cards. So the next two, we have strength. Build your strength and your courage to step outside of your comfort zone. This is also going to be something that's building your spiritual strength, your mental strength, and possibly your physical strength as well. The killer whale, this is killing old fears, killing old limiting beliefs that have been holding you back. The killer whale also hugely reminds me of the yin and yang symbol, and that's something that's like so amazing. So when we're constantly in the familiar, we're actually in balance. But when we can walk the line of the familiar and unfamiliar, where we're allowing ourselves to expand, but also, you know, keeping it real, keeping it kind of safe, and just walking that perfect balance between expanding yourself, exploring new things, and keeping a little bit of the familiar so that we don't go too far off in space, because that's also, you know, imbalanced as well. When we can stay balanced, that yin yang, that is where we will notice the best possible outcomes begin to blossom for us. And that's where we also are our happiest and most balanced and most fulfilled. So, just wanted to add that in there. The yin yang symbol is such a powerful symbol. There's literally so much sacred knowledge in that symbol. It's insane. The symbol looks so simple, but damn, like the amount of wisdom. I feel like I'm going to make like a video on YouTube explaining that symbol because it's so freaking powerful. There's so much wisdom in it. Like, as I started learning more about it, I've been literally like blown away at how much wisdom is within that really simple looking symbol. Anyway, moving on. We also have sacred destruction, destroying your old way of thinking, the things that don't serve you anymore, destroying like old patterns that are no longer serving you. This sacred destruction is literally the destruction of things that are no longer serving you, and connecting to new realms and ideas that will be serving you. The Sacred Destruction card is such a positive and powerful card. I really see you destroying old patterns that have been no longer serving you. You may not even realize what those patterns are, but as they begin naturally destroying because of your new expansion that you're going to be going through, because of these new detours and these new ways that you're going to be branching out, it's going to be destroying old patterns and old things, and you're going to be like, wow, I'm so glad that that happened, because it's going to be opening up new opportunities for you. Okay, next few cards. Let's get into our tarot cards here. So we have the Page of Wands here. This one talks about being a little bit more open to potentials, letting your inspiration and your drive open you up to new things. The page always symbolizes like a new inspiration, a new thing that we haven't ever really dove into before. Trying something new. Page of Wands is hugely about trying something new and also adding the zest and fun back into life. Let the zest and fun back into life. What can be new and exciting for you? Embrace things in a more fun, lighthearted way, and you'll notice amazing things happening for you. We also have the Six of Wands being reversed. Some of you are scared of failure. Some of you are scared of what other people may think of you. Some of you feel as if you need to wait for other people to tell you that it's a good idea before you feel like doing it. Some of you almost feel like you need the support and encouragement of others. Your future self is coming down right now to tell you, you give yourself permission. You're the only one that can give yourself permission, and you're the only one that you need support from. And of course, having support from others is always great, but this is about embracing like individual confidence, more independence. Independence is the word that's coming up. More independence. More independence. Learning also how to do things on your own is going to be really beneficial here. Stepping outside of your comfort zone again. We also have the Seven of Wands coming up. Some of you are really scared of judgment. Some of you have maybe experienced some harsh judgment before, and it's really kept you scared to expand again. But if you let go of that fear, imagine the opportunities that have been right in front of your face that are going to reappear once we let go of the fear of judgment. Once we let go of the fear of challenge, once we let go of the fear of things being difficult. We might enjoy staying the same because we don't have to learn new things, and it can be easier to stay the same because we're already used to it. We already know exactly what we need to do. But when we do that, things kind of get a little bit dull, a little bit boring, and we don't end up finding the things that could expand us greatly. Your future self is saying that the changes that are coming for you are going to help you expand in a very great way. Look, we also have judgment coming up. Literal fear of judgment is something that's coming up so predominantly in this reading. Letting go of the fear of judgment is going to help you expand in ways that you never thought possible. Letting go of the fear of failure, letting go of the fear of like, Like, oh, it's not going to be good enough because I don't know it very well. It's not going to be very good. Let go of the fear of judgment. This will unlock your ability to expand yourself and to learn new things and to become a master at something, to build strength at something. You are going to get good at it. But we need to let go of the fear of judgment so that we can allow ourselves to dive in and to begin exploring and creating this new path. And so that we can find our gift, we can find our treasure. There's a little, oh my gosh, and also you guys, we have the yin-yang symbol. I picked up on the yin-yang symbol with the killer whale. And then in the judgment card, these two fish are literally representing the yin and yang. You are meant to start stepping outside of your comfort zone. Start exploring it. But it's walking that balance. Where we allow ourselves to begin stepping out, to begin expanding in a healthy, balanced way. Wow. Wow. I'm just like blown away right now that, oh my gosh. I have no words, I'm speechless. We also have the Queen of Cups coming up. This is about focusing on filling your own cup. There's been a sort of, I feel like you guys have been decently satisfied with your current life. It's been decently satisfying, although the cup hasn't been full. It's been decently satisfying enough, but it's caused us to maybe like not expand towards the greatest potential. But now you're being called to step up, to expand, to fill your cup to the top. Some of you also, I think, have been feeling a bit drained. This is going to help you refill. There's an energy here that's coming through to help you refill your cup and to also be in more control of how full your cup is so that you can stay at a nice, great, high amount of fulfillment rather than just a mediocre, average amount of fulfillment. This is calling you to raise the bar. This is calling you to go after more. Also, I literally did not realize that our camera is literally so blown out right now. It's got really bright in here. But yeah, you're really being called to fill that more. And the only way of doing that is through expansion. The only way to fill your cup more is to expand what is available to you by exploring and expanding yourself so that more can be available to you. So let's go ahead and shuffle these cards right here to get some more info on this reading. So one of the cards coming up is the law of cause and effect. Change your beliefs, change your life. When we believe that something is difficult, or when we believe that oh, that's going to be hard, or money is hard to come by, or you know, I'm not good enough, or there's going to be so many different types of beliefs, right? When we have a belief, it will cause certain effects in our life. So if we believe we're not worthy of something, our actions are going to reflect that belief. And therefore our actions towards certain things are going to reflect the fact that we're not worthy of it. Therefore, we're not going to take action in the same way that we would if we believed that we were worthy of something. And that action will affect our outcome. If we believe we're worthy of something, we're going to take entirely different action. And with that different action, we're going to get an outcome that reflects back to us, almost like a boomerang. It reflects back to us, oh yeah, you think you're worthy, you took action of being worthy, therefore you put your 100% into it because you believe that you're worthy of it. So you put your 100% in. But if you don't believe you're worthy of something, are you going to try very hard for it? Probably not, because you don't believe you're worthy of it anyway. Therefore, your outcome isn't going to be so great because we're not putting our 100% into it. So the law of cause and effect, change your beliefs, change your life. Change your perspective also and change your life. Look at this wand. This is the wand of creation, literally creating a whole universe right here. You create your universe. You create your reality through your beliefs. If you believe something is hard, the action that you take is going to reflect it being hard. It's going to actually make it hard if you believe something's hard, because then your action is going to create it to be hard, because you already believe that it is anyway. If you believe that a test is really hard before you even open up the test, let's say that you just believe okay, wait, let's use this example. If you believe that it's really hard to climb a tree, if you believe like, oh shit, that's really hard, the way that you approach climbing that tree is going to show you that it's hard, because you believe that it's hard. You're approaching it from a difficult place. Therefore, when you try to climb that tree, it's going to end up being hard. But if you approach it with the thought of like, I'm super good at climbing trees. Trees are so easy to climb. I'm be able to climb it. No problem. Your actions are going to reflect that. This always happens where our beliefs affect whether we're good at something or not. There's also literally like biological studies on this, physical studies on this, where they would tell kids that, oh, this test is super hard, and then their scores, their outcome would actually be much lower than their average because they were told that the test is hard. But then they also took that same test with the same kids with the same IQ and told them like, hey, this test is super easy, and then they scored way above their average. Your beliefs about something affect the outcome because they affect the way that you take action. They affect what you expect. Let's see what else we get here. Group two. Also, I'm going to restart my camera because we're also about to cut out, so hang on. Okay, we're back. Let's see what else we get for you. Group 2. This card, I feel like, wants to come out. Okay, so we have the Law of Correspondence. See life as the ultimate mirror, guiding you to the highest version of yourself. So whenever there's a detour, whenever there's something that's not quite working out, the Law of Correspondence, see life as the ultimate mirror, guiding you to your highest version of yourself. Don't see these detours as life is against me, blah, 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 blah. Because when we believe that, when we're telling ourselves that story, it's going to pass through that filter of that belief, and it's going to create that experience. Your beliefs affect the way that you perceive things, and they affect the way you experience them. But when we can see life as the ultimate mirror guiding us to the highest version of ourselves, whenever there's a detour, we're going to embrace it, and we're going to have an entirely different experience, perspective, and therefore outcome. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into another deck of cards here. Group 2, what else does your future self want you to know right now to help you in this moment? We have a personal issue reaches resolution, full moon in Cancer. A personal issue reaches resolution. The resolution to whatever you're currently facing is literally on the horizon for you. Okay? We also have the end of a tough cycle approaches, full moon in Capricorn. The end of a tough cycle approaches. It's interesting with Capricorn because it's kind of like the mountain goat or water goat. But if you think about a mountain goat climbing a mountain, it's so easy for them. But when we believe something's really hard, or when we're being challenged to climb even steeper mountains, it might be hard for a time, but it's going to teach us the skills. It's going to teach us the strength and the knowledge to better climb that mountain. And then we see a mountain like that in the future and we're like, that's easy. I've done that a million times. The end of a tough cycle approaches. You've been gathering the learning and the wisdom of what you've been going through. And the end of that cycle is literally right on the horizon for you. We also, look at this card. If you wanted to know if you're close to achieving a goal, literally look at the card we have coming out. You're very close to achieving your goal, the gibbous moon. Okay, like, say less. I mean, that one's self-explanatory. I feel like I don't even need to explain that one. You're very close to achieving your goal. There is a detour here, but this detour is so divine, and you're very close to achieving your goal. In fact, I feel like you're going to be achieving a goal that's greater than the goal that you planned out for yourself. Start being open to that. Start feeling that. Start realizing that, because that's going to help you embrace that and begin creating that as well. to begin opening up your perspective to seeing that this is leading you to something even greater. So let's see, any last cards that we have on the messages from your future self. So group 2, we have hope. An idea like a single acorn can start a wondrous forest. An idea like a single acorn can start a wondrous forest. One single acorn, when planted, has the potential to become an entire forest. Realize your potential. Realize that a single choice that you make, a single idea that you have, has the potential to become something so wildly greater. And I feel like there's an acorn that you planted long ago that is now blossoming to becoming something greater, but it's embracing this detour and embracing the new wisdom that you're being called to learn right now. We also have the caution card, tread softly so as not to disturb the woodland floor. So don't try to control so much and go back into your box. There's magic happening around you right now. Embrace the expansion. Embrace the expansion so that we don't close ourselves off from the potential of something so amazing. Embrace this detour. Embrace this change in your life right now, group 2. Because there's magic happening right now. There's an acorn that you planted, and the acorn represents a wish or a desire that you've had, that you've planted long ago. This detour is now helping you bring that acorn into blossom, and there's magic happening right now. So a message from your future self is to stop trying to put yourself back into a box, to stop trying to put yourself back into the familiar, to allow yourself to walk the line of expansion. We don't need to fully, completely let go of everything that's familiar, but at the same time, we do need to embrace the expansion of where this is leading us. Because as you do, you're allowing that acorn to grow. You're allowing that desire you planted long ago to have the potential to expand you upwards. And that is what's happening in your life right now, group 2. So don't try to force things to go back to normal. Don't try to force things to maybe turn out in a way that we think is best. Because sometimes our way of thinking is limited and we don't actually know what's best. We may know what's best in our realm of what we're aware of, but there's things that are beyond our awareness that can be so much greater that we don't even see. But as we tread softly and we stay open to the detours of life, we allow ourselves to open up to the potential of what that miracle might be and to what that growth may be leading us towards. So I hope that makes sense there. Beautiful group number 2s. I feel like pulling out one more card for you, actually. I feel like Spirit right now is knocking on my spirit and just telling me pick up those cards again. So I'm like, okay, let's do it. So let's see what else we get for you. Group 2. Resilience. Ooh, so resilient. Stay as strong as evergreen trees. Embrace the strength that you have within you. Embrace the resilience to go through whatever it is that you're going through in life. Stay resilient, stay strong. You are so good. And this detour that you're currently on, this shift, the shifts that are happening in your life, if something's not turning out, embrace the changes. If something's not turning out the way that you want, trust that it might be trying to expand you to a new path. Trust that it might be showing you hey, there's a better way. Allow yourself to explore new options. Allow yourself to expand. Stay resilient. Don't allow those shortcomings to take away your energy. Don't allow those shortcomings to discourage you. In fact, those shortcomings that you may be experiencing right now are trying to expand you. They're trying to show you that there is so many more options. There's a better way. They're trying to show you that there's a better way. There's a better way and there's a better outcome. But we must allow ourselves to branch out, In the face of shortcomings, branch out to different ways, different options, instead of trying to force something to work out that's not working out. Branch off to new ways and realize there might be something way better for you. We sometimes think we know everything, but we only know everything in our current realm of awareness. And there's many things beyond our realm of awareness that are left to discover in this world. So allow yourself to branch out and discover those new things. That's what your future self wants you to know right now, because you're creating a brand new universe for yourself right now. I got goosebumps even saying that. You're creating a brand new universe. You're literally so close to achieving your goal, but this is requiring you to branch out and take a little bit of a detour. Branch out to new ideas, and you'll be surprised where that leads you, because that's expanding your realm of consciousness and your realm of awareness and your realm of possibility and your realm of outcome. And it's leading you somewhere so much better. So that is what we have for you, group number 2. I hope that made sense. I hope you enjoyed this reading. The end of your tough cycle is literally right upon you. And this tough cycle is only happening so that you expand yourself in a new way that's going to serve you so much greater and show you so much more potential. So that is what we have for you, group number 2. That is a message from your future self. I am sending you so much love in this video. I cannot wait to see how you expand and what you end up creating in your life. And hopefully I get to see you in my next video. Bye! So group number 3, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, group 3. So the first few cards that we have for you is the 5 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles, 6 of Cups, double sixes here. And we have the Moon and then the Chariot. Your future self wants you, has like a really powerful message for you actually. The 5 of Pentacles, this can indicate that we either feel like we don't have enough. We might feel like we don't have enough to give. We aren't worthy enough of something. There may be self-worth issues. There may be a feeling that we don't have enough resources to get us where we want to go. There may be a feeling of lack of money, a lack of knowledge, a lack of history or past to be able to be enough. A lack of something. There's a feeling like we lack something. We lack the ability, we lack the resources to be who we really want to be, to do what we really want to do. There's a feeling of that. And your future self is coming through right now to tell you that that shouldn't be a reason why you hold yourself back from anything. You are enough no matter where you're starting from. You are enough. Your future self wants you to begin looking for ways to see and to realize that you are enough. Some of you look at your past. You look at the cards you were given. You look at the things that you were dealt in life. And you attach that to the meaning of why you're not good enough. There may be certain things that you've been told before that you've accepted. And it's almost like the past is holding you back right now. Your past is holding you back. Whether you think about the past a lot or not, the past in some way is holding you back because you look at who you are, what you've done, the things that you have, the cards that you were dealt in life, and you are allowing it to make you feel like you are not enough and that you do not have enough to become what you desire. Your future self is telling you that that is an illusion. We have the Moon coming up for you. That is an illusion. It is a limiting fear and a belief that you have that is limiting you. It is limiting you from your truest potential and your truest path of alignment in life. You have so much more potential in you than what you are giving yourself credit for. And the sixes represent harmony and whatever's in harmony with your soul. There's a message here. If something's in harmony with your soul, you're meant for it. So if there's something in harmony with you where you're saying, I really desire to be this, I really desire to do this in life, there is a message for you that that's what you're supposed to be following. Some of you are almost waiting for someone to help you, or maybe somebody to give you permission, or something like this. Spirit is also telling you to just go for it. Just go for it. But we must get over our fears. We must get over our limitations in order to get there. There's also a sort of message here where we might be looking at people who have what we want, or people that are above us, and we think that we need them in order to get where we want to go. Or we think that we need help from a higher power in order to get where we want to go. We're almost waiting for someone to help us to get where we want to go rather than helping ourselves. Your future self is saying that you are the only one that is capable of saving you. You are the only one that is capable of getting you to your dreams and goals. Nobody else. That is not in the power of anybody else, nor is it anyone else's responsibility. It is your sole responsibility. And I know this message might be seeming like really like, I don't know, real straightforward right now, but you have the potential to get exactly where it is that you want to go, and nothing in your past is holding you back from that, although we may think it is. And that is part of the illusion of the moon. You have what it takes to get there. The Chariot says that you have the ability to overcome any obstacle. The Chariot is the card that represents obstacles in our way, and also tells us we have the ability to overcome that by steering in a new direction. For example, if you're driving a car, and let's say that all of a sudden there's a huge obstacle on the road, you have the ability to steer around it. You have the ability to build a new road to get to your destination. You have the ability to create your own path. That is your message from Spirit. You have the ability to create your own path. And just because we've come from a certain place, it does not stop us from getting where we want to go. There's always a way. If there's a will, there's a way. Some of you may worry about your finances, and your future self also really wants you to know that you have what it takes to change that around. You have what it takes. You 100% have what it takes. But it's going to require doing things in a new way. It's going to require stepping outside of your comfort zone, learning something new, and taking deliberate action. Taking deliberate action towards what you desire. And choosing to go after it, and choosing to also let go of your past. There's comfort in the past. There's comfort in creating, beliefs that things are out of our control. There's a comfort in that, because then we don't have to take responsibility for our circumstances or our outcomes. But if you want to create the best world for yourself, group 3, this is about taking action to get where you want to go. And taking control of your present circumstances. I'm for some reason being called to talk about this like side message, but it also has something to do with this. So, for example, there's a really big YouTuber. His name is Mr. Beast. I don't know why this example is coming to my head. But anyway, with him, he wanted to be a huge YouTuber, but he didn't come from much. And so when he first started, he didn't have like a good camera. He didn't have much, but he had sort of enough to make a video, but it definitely wasn't of good quality. It was kind of just like, meh, whatever. But he had a dream of becoming a really successful big YouTuber. A lot of people in his situation would say, no, I have to wait until I can get a good camera, but I can't afford it, so there's no way I can do that. Therefore, there's no way I can start it. Therefore, there's no way I can become a good YouTuber because I don't have the resources. And even though you may not have the greatest of resources, your future self wants you to know that you have enough to take the first step. You have enough to begin. And although, it may not be everything you need to be the best in this exact moment, it's enough to get started, and it's enough to begin building the foundation in which you will begin to expand and become exactly what it is you want. You have enough right now. And Spirit wants you to absolutely know that is you have enough right now, but you need to start seeing yourself as enough. You need to start seeing your current circumstances as enough. And the fact that you are worthy to go after this, see yourself as that. And then it'll allow you to step outside of the illusion that you are not enough. It'll allow you to step into the chariot where we can steer around these obstacles. We can find our way around this. We can find our way around whatever challenges currently face us. There is a way around it. If there is a will, there's a way. We just need to step into the right chariot. Let's step into the chariot that's going in the direction of not crashing into this obstacle and not letting this obstacle stop us. There's always ways around things so that we can get started and we can begin taking our steps towards the destination we want to go in. Doing things in a fair way. That's also huge. So let's go ahead and see what else we get for the messages for my beautiful group number 3s. Let's see. We also have, literally could not pick a more fitting card to have come up in this reading. So we have the card of opposition. This talks about feeling as if forces are against you right now. Some of you definitely feel as if forces of life are against you. I am here to tell you and give you the message that there is more to this story. Things may feel against us right now, but they are not. They are not against us enough to where we cannot move or make decisions or create new circumstances. There is a way. We need to find a way around this. We need to find a way to keep moving forward regardless of this opposition. An opposition happens when the way in which we're thinking about moving forward is not the way we're meant to go. There is a different route. So if we're thinking like, oh, I'm not good enough or I don't have enough, of course we're in opposition when we're thinking that way. Because that's the force of the universe telling you that's not the way to be thinking, that's not the way to be moving. When we're feeling opposition, it's because whatever way that we're currently thinking, whatever way we're trying to take action is of course not the right way. So again, if we're feeling opposition, let's say that you're trying to have a YouTube channel, but let's say you can't afford the greatest of camera gear yet or the greatest of programs to edit videos, whatever the case may be. If we're trying to move in that direction, we're feeling total opposition, it's because the universe is like, hey, that mindset ain't going to get you nowhere. That mindset is not bringing you where you're meant to be. You are literally, through your focus, if you're focused on all your problems, of course you're going to feel opposition. Problems are opposition of where we want to go. So we end up creating opposition when we focus on our problems. We literally are creating opposition because it's literally the energy of the universe being like, no, just shift your focus. Sorry, that's getting really intense there. But let's shift your focus outside of problem. When we're looking at a wall, of course we're just going to see a wall. Imagine the obstacle is like a wall. If we're just staring at it being like, oh my God, there's literally nothing. Of course there's nothing you can do when you're staring at the wall. Of course there's nowhere you can go when you're trying to run into the wall. We need to turn around and find a way around the wall, around the obstacle. And when we start thinking in that way, our mindset, our consciousness, instead of facing our wall, instead of facing our problem, we can listen to that opposition, shift our focus over there, and then we're like, oh, there's a way around that. You know what I mean? Like, imagine that this is you, this is your problem, and we keep staring at it, and it keeps forcing this energy back to us because it's literally telling us, don't go in that direction, stop going in that direction. But then we can shift our focus like to over here. We start going this way, and we're like, oh my God, there's no obstacle here. I can just use my iPhone to record videos for an hour. I can use my computer, my webcam, and even though the quality sucks, I'm still moving in my direction now, and it's like, woo, we get around the obstacle. The opposition is happening because where we're placing our focus is on the issue, but there are ways around the issue. If there's a will, there's a way. We also have void of course. Ooh, pause in time, change of plans, limbo, improvisation. Gosh, I literally could not pick better cards to come out. Like, I just love the way that the universe works. Whenever I get cards for these videos, I shuffle them and I wait for fallout cards. And literally the cards that are just coming, how is this magic real? I'm always astounded. I've been doing tarot for so long and I'm always astounded by the magic within it. But anyway, void of course. This is time to void our current course. Our current course is going towards opposition, and that's not good for us. So let's pause. You may feel as if things are kind of stuck right now. If things are stagnant and not moving, it's because we need a change of plans. We're in limbo. We need to change our plans. We need to improvise. How can we improvise on this? You know, some of us feel imposter syndrome sometimes, and we're like, I can't go after my dreams because I don't have the right education, or, you know, I didn't, you know, do whatever prerequisite you may think that you need. Change of plans, improvise. There's always a way. There are new ideas that we can come across. We just need to be in a solution-focused mindset rather than a problem-focused mindset. Void of course. Abandon the current course. The current course is the opposition. Let's go on a new course. Let's find a way around this. Let's improvise. It is time to improvise, my loves. We also have the 8th house, I transform. This is ruled by Scorpio and Pluto. So we're just going to read actually what this says, because usually these things say such good things. And then I'll tell you like my own version of this. But anyway, this says, this is the house of life's enigmas, transformation, the hidden, sexuality, and death. This is where we can see someone else's property and money, real estate, inheritance, and investments. We can also see our own deepest unrevealed wishes, as well as fears, occultism, and esotericism. Occultism is just unknown knowledge, or unknown things, or secret wisdom. So anyway, this is where we can see our unrevealed wishes. Ooh, that is a definite connection to this reading. So what are we maybe repressing, and what are things that we need to transform? Because this is the house of metamorphosis. This is the house in astrology of major transformations, what it says right at the bottom. So what do we need to transform in our current reality, the way that we see ourselves? I feel like a part of this reading is changing the way you see yourself and realizing you are good enough. You are good enough for who you are right now, and you have what it takes right now to begin taking those first steps towards what it is that you desire. But we need to transform the way in which we see ourselves. We need to transform in what we believe is possible for us. We also have the vertex, karmic point, synastry, fated connections, turning point. The vertex is always the turning point. Anytime we have an aspect in astrology where something major is hitting our vertex, or if the vertex in our like solar arcs progressions is going through a major transit. If you don't know astrology and you don't know what I'm talking about, it's okay, because I'm going to explain all of it anyway. But anytime that happens in our astrology chart, it indicates that we're going through a major turning point in our life. And there's a divine turning point ahead of us. So your future self wants you to, or is giving you the advice of, let's turn things around. If we're facing so much opposition, let's turn things around. Let's start focusing on, what can I do in the present moment? Even if I may think it's like, you know, not, you know, maybe I'm not going from 0 to 100, but let's start by taking the first step. We don't need to go from 0 to 100 to make our dreams happen. Sometimes we need to go from 0 just to 1. And then from 1, we go to 2. And then from 2, maybe we go to 2.5. And then from 2.5, maybe we take a leap and we're like, oh shit, now I'm going to 4. And I'm going to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, until you get to 100. We don't need to go from 0 to 100 to make our dreams happen. Sometimes we just need to start by going from 0 to 1. And even if it's not so great in the first step, we expand from that. That's how we begin expanding towards our desired outcome. Not by expecting that we need to go from 0 to 100, but just by expecting that, hey, I need to take the first step if I'm going to get anywhere. You are good enough to start in this moment. You're going to learn along the way. You don't need to be a master in the beginning. You don't need to have master tools to make something happen. You don't need to have $1 million in the bank to make something happen. We just need to take the first step, even if it's small. Just take the first step, get something started, and expand on that. That is what's going to take you where you desire to go. So let's go ahead and get into some of our next cards. Guys, look at we have the Void of Course, which is actually talking about the moon, the Void of Course moon, and we literally have the moon coming up for you as well. And then we also have the card of the Void. There's something that you feel is missing in you. You may feel as if you're missing energy. You may feel as if you're missing information. You may feel as if you're missing resources. You may feel as if you're missing wisdom or information. You're going to discover it along the way. It's going to get filled along the way. We just need to take our first step. Again, we don't need to go to 0 to 100. Sometimes we just need to go from 0 to 1. And that is much greater than just staying at 0. Taking the first step and just going to number 1 is greater than staying at 0. The void. This is how you begin. This is how you begin filling your cup. This is how you begin creating more money, more prosperity. This is how you begin creating more love in your life. This is how you begin. This is how you begin learning what you need to learn. Just take the first step. That is your message from your future self, is take the first step. We also have the wildling. So let yourself free, cut yourself loose. All of these super high expectations have been keeping you at 0, have been keeping you at ground 0, because we believe that we're not good enough yet to just begin. Cut yourself loose from these expectations. Cut yourself loose from these ideas that you need to be a certain way in order to take the first step. Cut yourself loose to allow yourself to begin moving forward. Allow the wild side of you to come out and to begin exploring what it is that you really want to explore. Learn along the way. Okay, let's go ahead and see what else we have here. The next 3 cards that we have for you is, for one, learning to forgive. Learning to forgive your past, I feel like, is going to be a huge thing in allowing you to move forward. Learning to forgive your past, learning to forgive yourself. Some of you have been really harsh on yourselves. You judge yourself a lot. This is why you almost expect yourself to go from 0 to 100 or nowhere. But the thing is we don't get anywhere if we expect that from ourselves. We don't get anywhere if we're that hard on ourselves. We don't get anywhere. We stay at 0. But when we can learn to forgive ourselves, when we can learn to be easier on ourselves, when we can learn to be easier on everything, when we can learn to forgive our past, that's when we allow ourselves to begin moving forward, even if it's just a small step at a time. And isn't that so much better than staying at 0? We also have the card of miscommunication. So learning to reflect on old things that we think we fully understand right now. Allow those to transform. I'm hearing that there is something that has been holding you back. It's some sort of harbored anger on your past, or some sort of harbored anger towards something. Allow that to transform through forgiveness. Allow this to transform. Stop putting the blame on other things, on other people. Allow yourself to reflect and realize that everyone's doing their best from what they currently know, and we all learn from our mistakes. And trust me, everyone is going to make mistakes. Learning to forgive yourself, learning to forgive others, and learning to clear things, to clear the air. This card of miscommunication, this is such a transformation, and I'm hearing that our current perspective on things is about to majorly transform. As you start moving towards what it is that you desire, even just if it's a small step, you're going to be transforming things and perspectives on the world, and they're going to transform in big ways that are going to serve you greatly in your future. And even if that doesn't seem so powerful right now, you're going to realize the power within that very soon. Also, where do I put this card? Right there somewhere? Yeah, let's go with that. Or I guess I'm trying to make these cards even, but sometimes I'm like, I don't know where I just put that other one. That's even, I think. Yeah, anyway. We also have the card of It's All an Act. As you begin to embody and embrace who it is that you want to be, you almost get to realize that you get to decide who you are. It's all an act. I also feel like this is telling you that it's all about actions. This card can also be read as like in other ways, but in relevance to your particular reading, the card of It's All an Act, I feel like this is your future self telling you it's all about your actions. It's how you act in the world. How you choose to take action will decide your outcomes in life. Okay, let's go ahead and see what else we get for you. Group number 3. Group number 3. Group number 3. The law of growth. Be steadfast in your faith and stay the course. Don't back out. The law of growth. The only way that we can grow is if we continue going upwards and not give up. That's when we grow past obstacles. That's when we grow past challenges. Be steadfast in your faith and stay the course. Have unwavering faith. If you have unwavering faith on your ability to achieve something and you stay the course, you will grow into the master. You will grow into the achiever. And you will find success in where you desire to go. Again, if you're facing opposition right now, you can still get to your outcome. Keep your outcome in mind, but change your approach. Allow yourself more options and ways of approaching, rather than limiting it by telling yourself you need to be a certain way or have certain things in order to take that first step. You don't. Okay, let's go ahead and shuffle. Where's my next cards? These cards to get any more information. I'm also going to restart my camera before it cuts out. Okay, we are back. So let's see, what other cards do we have coming out for my beautiful group 3s? Let's see. We have expect powerful change. Okay, so if you begin making these changes, my goodness, group number 3, expect powerful change, new moon eclipse. Expect a powerful new beginning for you, a powerful new beginning opening up. Your future self wants you to know that as you make these changes, and if you decide to make these changes, where you start seeing yourself as worthy, you start seeing yourself as good enough to go after what it is that you want, and instead of facing that opposition of I can't, let me just continue staring at the wall of I can't, start to say I can. Look in the other direction, and you're going to notice a lot less resistance. You're going to notice a lot less opposition because we're no longer looking in the direction that's forcing us and trying to tell us to turn around and look a new way. I also want to repeat the powerful message that if you are currently facing opposition, it's because you're facing a way where the universe is sending so much energy to try to turn you around to see a new perspective, a new way. That's why we face opposition, is because there's so much energy trying to help us look in a new direction, to start to see that there's an easier way, and that easier way may contradict our current beliefs, which is why we don't want to look in that direction, but realize you are enough. You are worthy. You have what it takes to begin right now. You don't need to jump from 0 to 100. You just need to jump from 0 to 1 at the very least. Stop expecting, like, that you need to be 0 to 100 or nothing. The only way to actually get somewhere is to start with the first step, to go from 0 to 1 first. Okay? Expect powerful change. Once you start making these changes, watch how drastically it is going to shift your life. We also have nothing will come of this situation. Guys, I literally cannot right now. We have the void of course moon, void of course moon, and the void. I am literally speechless right now. If we do not take action, if we stay void of course, if we don't start taking the first step and we continue to stay at ground zero, nothing will come of any situation ever. We need to just begin putting ourselves there. We're going to learn and grow as we begin taking those first steps. I cannot believe how many times the void is coming up. Also, if we're feeling empty, if we feel a void right now, if we're feeling a lack in the moment, that's because we need to change our direction, expect more for ourselves, go after more, and begin filling our cup. Find ways to fill your cup. What is going to bring you fulfillment? And let's start taking the first step. Let's start taking the first step. And let's stay committed to that in your faith and stay the course, the law of growth. And then you can expect powerful change in your life. I also feel like there's some powerful changes that you must make, that your future self is telling you, make them, because when you do, you'll never regret it. If there are changes that you know would improve your life, you're never going to regret making the decision to change those things. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into our last oracle cards here. So, okay, one's already coming out. We have grounded. Keep your roots and stand taller than the trees. Grounded. Stay grounded. So keep your roots and stand taller than the trees. This is about becoming grounded in your confidence in yourself. Stand taller than the trees. Start to see, take a bird's eye view of things. Take a bird's eye view and start to realize and look at the big picture. Stand taller than trees. Stand taller than your problems. Realize you have more capacity to overcome them. Stand taller than your problems and you will find your solution. Instead of fearing and allowing your problems to overtake you and say that, oh, you can't make a move, let's stand taller than those issues, start to see over them, start to see that big picture and realize, nope, I can totally take another step. I can take a step over here and take a little detour and come around this challenge or obstacle. The origins, remember your roots. Double roots coming up here. Remember your roots, origins. Coming back to who you've been, the things that you've learned, and realizing that that's actually a beautiful part of your journey that's making you into who you are. Love and accept that. And realize that you have the ability to stand taller than your problems no matter where you're currently rooted, no matter what you've been through in your past, no matter what your origins are, no matter what choices you've currently made in life, you can still stand taller than your problems and overcome them. You still have the ability to stand taller than your problems and overcome them. Let's see. These are our last two cards. We have the Night. Find comfort in the night where the world switches off and the stars burn bright. This is where the world shuts off and the stars burn bright. So the star is where you desire to go. In the night, when the lights are off, it's not necessarily shining on our problems. And then we can see the stars of where we want to get to. So the stars are representing what you desire. And when you're able to turn off your mental chatter and your current maybe perspectives on the world, when you're able to turn that off and to stop looking at all the problems. So that's when the light switches off. When you switch off your awareness from constantly focusing on your problems and you just focus on the stars of where you want to get to, that is when you stop seeing the wall that might be right in front of you. Look to where you want to get to and realize that there's ways to get there. We also have the card of let go. Enjoy the pulsing light of the firefly, but don't hold on too tight. So let go of particular outcomes, of particular ways that you must be, and realize that there's more options for you. And the more that we're open to that, the more that we're able to see how we can make things happen, how we can get where we want to go. Also, don't hold on too tight of certain expectations of like seeing what other people may have, the comparison. So enjoy the pulsing light of the firefly. So something that inspires you, something that you're like, oh, I really want to be them, or I really want their life and what they have. We can enjoy that from afar and we can be like, wow, what they have is really beautiful. That's really inspiring. But don't hold on too tight, because your journey is going to be unique to you. And there may be way better things for you along the way. You can find inspiration in things and let them guide you. But don't feel like you need to be like somebody else in order to have the same success. You can have the same success from your own story. You can create your own success. You don't need to follow necessarily in the footsteps, in the exact footsteps of somebody else. You can make your own story and get exactly where you want to go. Okay, so don't hold on too tight of like, I need to be a certain way, I need things to look a certain way in order to get where I want to go. No, you don't need to, you know, for example, if we're using YouTube as an example, you don't need to be making videos like Mr. Beast is, where he's spending like $1 million on every video. You don't need to be there in order to find your success. You don't need to jump from 0 to 100. So you can enjoy the pulsing light of the firefly. You can enjoy watching, you know, really high production videos that cost a lot of money. You can enjoy that, but don't hold on too tight that you need to be there in order to be successful. You can start where you are on right now, and you can have that as your trajectory. And you can become that. But when we hold on too tight to a certain vision, we end up stopping ourselves a lot, because we're like, I don't have what it takes to be that. Sure as hell, I don't have what it takes to like be making no $1 million videos, but you can get there by looking at that more bigger picture and starting to realize I can start where I am right now and lead myself there by starting with what I do have. What do I have, and what can I do with that right now to start going in that direction? Okay, so that's about letting go. Don't hold too tight to such a particular vision that's so far out of reach right now. Hold that vision, but not too tight to where you limit yourself and what you can do right now to get to where you want to go. Does that make sense? Again, it's the same concept of not jumping from 0 to 100. You can keep 100 in mind, but go to 1 first. Then go to 2, then go to 3. So hopefully that's making sense there, group number 3. That is what we have for you. That is your message from your future self. Let's start right now. Let's think outside of the box. Expect powerful change and start making that change by finding solutions to getting around your certain limitations or issues right now, so that you can get to the outcome that you desire to get to by building it from where you are right now. You have what it takes. Believe in yourself, know that you're capable of this, and let's go. Let's make it happen. So that is what we have here for you. Group number 3, your future self wants you to know that you can get there. You have what it takes. That's why we had the Chariot coming out as your outcome card over here. You have what it takes. You have everything that it takes to get to what your destination is, but we need to start by taking the first step and then building upon that. You have what it takes. But when we're looking and we're expecting so much from ourselves, we're going to feel the pressure and the opposition. We're going to feel how difficult it is, because we can't expect 0 to 100. We can get to 100, but we're going to need to take all the steps in between, and you have what it takes to get there. Your future self wants you to know you have what it takes, so let's go. Don't discourage yourself. Don't feel the void and the lack of what you don't have right now. Feel how abundant you are right now and the fact that you can make anything happen. Build yourself up rather than tearing yourself down. There's a powerful turning point in your life coming up. Let's turn it around and let's start moving up. Okay, group number 3, let's start moving up. So that's what we have here for you. I am sending you so much love, my group number 3s, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye. All right, so my beautiful group number 4s, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading, so let's get right into it. Okay, group 4, we have Patience and the Pillar as your first 2 cards. A message from your future self, the first initial message is that of patience and slowing it down. Slowing it down. Some of you have been so fast in your life, expecting so much of you, pushing yourself so far, and there's been this sense possibly of this like impatience, almost this sense like I need to do it now, otherwise I'm going to be late, or otherwise I'm not going to make it, or otherwise other people are going to beat me to the finish line, or you know, there's certain fears that you have around you, as if you need to push yourself so hard right now, otherwise you're going to lose. Your future self wants you to know a message about rest, recuperation, and the fact that if you slow down a bit, you're actually going to get more ahead. And you shouldn't slow down just to get more ahead. You need to slow down to rest and recuperate your energy, because then you're going to have more energy to move forward. We all know the story of the tortoise and the hare. The hare is obviously a lot faster than a tortoise, but the hare, even though it's rushing through, doesn't make it to the finish line first. In fact, the tortoise does. Even though he's stopping to smell the roses, he's enjoying his life along the way, he makes it there first. He doesn't reach burnout. He's not moving so fast that he's forgetting the necessities of life and the necessities to get where he wants to go. He has the perfect balance. The tortoise has that perfect balance between rest, recuperation, enjoyment, and not forgetting where we're going, because we're focused. We're focused, but we're allowing ourselves to have rest and rejuvenation along the way. We're not forcing ourselves and burning ourselves out. We're balanced. There's a message here of balance. The pillar is also a message of balance. This is about balancing two sides of something in order to create a structure that's much more reliable. This is about structuring your life into a more reliable, more balanced state. It is okay to take time off. It is okay to stop and smell the roses along the way. It is okay to let go a little bit, to allow yourself to live in between the doing. We came here in this world to also live, to also experience life rather than just be productive. Let's stop and smell the roses. Let's have a vacation. Let's chill. Let's see our friends. Let's see our family. Let's spread joy, spread love along our journey, because then we're in a much better place than just accomplishing. And in fact, we're going to build our pillar much stronger. Imagine building, okay, so another message in the pillar. Imagine trying to build like a house in a week versus if you give yourself a year to build it. Which one's going to last longer? Which one's going to be more reliable? And which one's going to keep you in a beautiful house for a lot longer? Which one do you want to invest into? Do you want to invest your time and your energy into a house that was built in a week? Or do you want to invest your time and energy into a house that was built over a year? Which one is most likely going to be the most reliable and the best and the longest lasting? Don't rush yourself. Take time, have patience, put your best effort into it, and realize that that is going to be much better than something that was built in a week, than something that was rushed, than something that was forced and rushed out of scarcity. Whenever we act out of scarcity or we act out of lack, we're going to notice the repercussions of that. The results of whatever we do are going to reflect the energy that we put into it. So if we're taking action on something from a place of fear, a place of lack, we're going to notice that that's the energy that we get back out of it. It's going to be reflecting back our fears. So again, if we're rushing to build a house super fast because we're like, oh my God, I need to build it right now. I need to build it right now. I need to get it all done. And I'm giving myself a week because, oh my God, I just need it right now. The outcome of that is we're going to have a pretty unreliable house, and it's going to be reflecting back to us all these fears of like, oh my God, it's unstable. Oh my God, the floor is falling apart. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I need to rush to build it right now. And if I don't fix it right now in the next hour, oh my God, it's the worst. And then it's just going to continue reflecting back to us more fear, because that's what we're putting into it. we're putting in an unstable energy into it. It's going to be unstable. It's going to be unreliable. And if those are the results that you've been seeing in your life lately, if that's the energy that you've been feeling in your life lately, your message is to slow down, look at what you're building, put love and effort into it, put patience into it, allow it to grow in its own time, work with it as it begins blossoming and coming to life, work with yourself, listen to yourself, your own needs, build yourself up, because then you're going to be able to put a lot more effort forward. You're going to be able to build yourself up a lot more. And the results of what you're building are going to be a lot longer lasting, they're going to be a lot better quality, and it's going to be a lot more reliable. So those are your first initial messages here. Group number 4. Let's go ahead and see what else we have for you here. So our next few cards, we have the Waning Crescent. The Waning Crescent. This one says surrender, restore. That one sticks out. Reflection, intuition, and stillness. Create more stillness in your life. Not everything needs to be in constant motion. Stillness and reflection, listening to our intuition, surrendering rather than forcing, rather than not allowing ourselves time to restore, allowing ourselves time to just breathe. Waning Crescent, allow things to close down a little bit. We're not waxing right now. You guys are professional waxers. Waxing, by the way, what I mean by that is I'm referring to the waxing moon, which is the growing moon when we're trying to put so much effort into something. You instead have the waning, which is so weird because all the other groups and piles before you, like group 1, 2, and 3, all had waxing cards, the waxing moon. So they had like waxing gibbous, waxing crescent, all these things. The waxing is when we need to put more effort towards something. We need to begin building something. I think you're already good in that department. What you need to work on is the waning. Allow yourself the stillness, allow yourself the restoration. And it's so weird that the first 2 cards that we have for you are also all about this same message. Like, I'm always shocked at like how well the oracle cards and the tarot cards will always fit together in these readings. Like, Spirit literally chooses these messages. Whenever I choose these cards for the readings, I shuffle them and I wait for fallout cards to happen, which I believe is like a weird coincidence and way of Spirit kind of just choosing cards for the piles. And like, I'm just so shocked at how the cards just tell like a full story and fit in together so well. It just blows my mind. Anyway, we also have the card here of Saturn. Boundaries, limitations, delays, and responsibilities. You will notice delays. You're going to notice limitations the more that we try to force something to be more than what it can be in a certain span of time. Realize that you have the capability of building an empire. You have the capability of building anything that you can dream of. But when we try to build the greatest thing in a really short amount of time, we all know that in the production of anything, we can either choose quantity or we can choose quality. But those things can never contradict each other. We can never have both like quality and quantity in a similar time frame. It doesn't work. If we want fast production times, we must sacrifice quality. If we want better quality, we need to allow room for a longer time span. So set certain boundaries in your life. Spirit wants you to set certain boundaries. I have a question for you, group 4s. Do you tend to work through weekends? Do you tend to be hard on yourself anytime that you're not being productive? Like, do you tend to almost have this lack mindset or this fear if you're not doing anything that you're a waste of space? Like, do you have these feelings? Because I feel like that's what these cards are kind of pointing at right now. And Spirit is telling you that you need to create better boundaries in your life. Your future self is coming through right now, telling you to embrace more of Saturn energy. Some of you may even be going through your Saturn return right now, and your Saturn return usually happens around 28.5 years old. Some of you may be going through that right now, or some of you may just be going through another major Saturn transit of some kind. Either way, it doesn't matter. but your future self wants you to create better boundaries in your life. So what are the days of the week that you're going to take off fully in order to just do whatever the hell you want, for lack of better words? Think about what are things that just you love to do. Set certain boundaries in your life and set clear boundaries. Spirit is telling you to take at least 1 to 2 days off every week. What days are those going to be? They need to be at least 1 to 2 every week. And those don't need to be productive in any way, shape, or form. These are for your restoration, your rejuvenation, and your relaxation, where you just get to sit there and just enjoy and just be and do the things that you love to do. Set limitations on certain things. You don't need to have, like, you don't need to rush or force things. You're going to notice delays, even if you try to force things to happen in a short period of time. If it's unreasonable, you're going to notice a lot of delays. And if you've been noticing delays in your life, the universe trying to slow you down, this is why. You've taken on a lot of responsibilities in your life, group 4. You've taken on a lot and you've put a lot of pressure on yourself to meet certain quotas. This is time to start relaxing. This is time to learn that energy of Saturn, where the Saturn is like, there's limits of what you can do. And Saturn's going to start showing you the burnout if you don't start taking time off to relax, to rejuvenate. If you take the pressure off yourself, then Saturn's going to be like, all right, there we go, lesson learned. Take the pressure off and have more patience with yourself, have more patience with others, have more patience in your life in general. You're going to notice the best outcomes when you start living life in that way. Okay. The next card we have is the Trine. Ooh, this is the best, most powerful shape and also the most powerful aspect in astrology. So this is fluency and ease. It's also representative of talent, development, privilege, aptitude, self-comfort, temper, laziness, and intelligence. So the Trine, it's actually not so much laziness in the Trine. That's more of a possible like negative aspect of a Trine if it's through like harsh planets or like whatever. But anyway, this is more about fluency, ease, talent, development. Trine is a very strong aspect, to say the least. And what it's representing in this reading is to begin to create the strongest support system in your life. What is going to be the strongest support? What is going to be the strongest pillar? The Trine is the most powerful shape. A triangle is literally the most powerful, strongest shape. So, within this shape, this is time to add more of Trine to your life. So, this is quality, quantity, and time. How can we create quality, quantity, and time to work in a way where all three of those are being met in a way that's possible and in a way that creates the strongest and most greatest potential? An aspect of that is taking time for ease, fluency, to develop things in a way that allows them to develop with strength and strongness, and that might require us to slow down a little bit, to take our time a little bit, to find better comfort using our intelligence to create much better circumstances. We also have the last quarter moon. This one also fits in super well. So the last quarter moon, transition, letting go, forgiveness, and adaptation. We need to adapt to new circumstances. The message from your future self is to adapt to new circumstances. Group 4. This is time to transition into a new schedule, a new routine, begin letting go of certain expectations that we've had on ourselves, forgiving ourselves. Don't be hard on yourself. This is the time to let go of being so hard on yourself. Be easy on yourself. Ease. Ease. Allow the ease. Allow the Trine shape to come into your life more. Okay? So let's go into our next few cards here. We have overstepped boundaries. You've either been overstepping your own boundaries, boundaries that you should have in your life, and you've been overstepping your own, forcing yourself to do certain things, And maybe even possibly this could be a message of overstepping other people's boundaries. This could also be a message of that. How do you feel that that resonates with you? Again, it is a general reading, so I'm pointing out all the options. If you feel that that's not a message for you of overstepping other people's boundaries, then you can obviously let that go. However, if that kind of rings sort of true for you, maybe it's time to step back a little bit, add a little bit more ease, forgive yourself, and start to create. Use that Saturn energy. Start to create. What are your new boundaries going to be? And write them down. I highly recommend group 4. If this is a message that's ringing true for you, begin writing down what are your new boundaries going to be. And follow them. Respect them. And allow them to bring more ease to your life. Your future self is thanking you for it already, let me tell you, because there's more flow. The jellyfish here, there's so much more flow in your life. Your future self is already like, oh, thank you. Thank you for putting in this work. Woo! Okay. The next card that we have is triggers. This is a message of healing certain triggers that are in your life right now. So what is currently triggering for you? Do we get triggered when we're not doing enough? Do we get triggered by certain things that we need to begin creating healthier boundaries around so that we can actually have more ease and more flow in our life? What are those boundaries we need to create? What are those things that we need to heal to create more ease? Ask ourselves, why are we feeling these triggers? So if we get super triggered by certain things, such as not doing enough or whatever, what is that actually stemming from? Ask ourselves, let's go deep for a second. Let's go deep. Where is that actually stemming from? Is it stemming from like a feeling of I'm not good enough? Is it stemming from a feeling of like I feel behind in my life? I don't feel good enough unless I get to the absolute top. Let's start acting more like the tortoise rather than the hare. Who needs to be first every time and rushes and rushes and rushes. Let's be more like the tortoise who's like, I'm confident in myself. I know where I'm going. I don't need to compare myself to nobody. I just need to be me, focus on my vision, stay in my own lane, and just do me. We need to heal those triggers, heal those wounds of where we don't feel good enough. Okay? Also, the lighting looks really pretty right now. The sun just kind of like went behind a cloud a little bit and it created like a beautiful, I don't know. I like the glow that's happening right now with all these gold cards. But anyway, back to the actual reading. Ooh, look at this one. There will be a return. Oh, I got a nice message from this card. Okay, so immediately I got this feeling that as you heal your triggers, as you set these clear boundaries, you begin relaxing more, there's actually going to be a huge payoff for this in your life. And I know, especially if you're like overly productive, you're probably listening to that and you're like, ooh, there's going to be a payoff for relaxing? Oh my God, what? I'm going to get more? Ooh. There's going to be a return of energy, a return of inspiration, a return of creativity, and oddly, a return of achieving more in your life because you're going to have more energy, you're going to have more creativity. There's going to be a lot of benefit to taking more time off, being easier on yourself. There's going to be a big return from this, but we must heal those triggers so that we actually feel comfortable enough to actually relax rather than just being triggered. We set clear boundaries, all of that. So what are those boundaries you're going to begin creating for yourself? What are you going to begin doing? What are the days of the week that you're going to begin taking off and saying, nope, no work on that particular day, right? Our next few cards, we have this card right here, the Empress. And the Empress is all about nurturing the self. Nurturing yourself, giving yourself what you need, living in the mindset of abundance. And when we live in the mindset of abundance, we don't feel lack. We don't feel like we can't relax. The Empress is the master of relaxation and rejuvenation and going to spas and treating thyself. embracing more of this energy, self-care, rejuvenation. Your future self is already thanking you. There is a youngness, a youthful energy that you are going to begin to feel as you begin to nurture yourself. Some of you, I'm getting this message that you've been feeling as if you're getting older. Some of you, I'm getting this message that you're feeling as if you're getting older and it's starting to be on your consciousness. And I'm hearing a particular message that once you begin taking care of yourself more, you begin setting these boundaries, taking more time off, there's going to be a youthful energy that begins rising in you again. And you're going to kind of forget, and you're going to get out of the consciousness of like, I'm aging. You're only feeling that because your body is getting a bit worn down through the amount that you've been pushing yourself. However, once you begin slowing down, you're no longer going to feel that way. And you're going to be noticing the opposite. You're going to be noticing like, hey, I feel younger. I feel like I'm literally getting younger. I feel younger. Some of you may also feel like, oh shit, I'm looking younger. So keep that in mind too. Our next card, we also have the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is about getting something that you've been wishing for. You've been wishing for something and almost pushing yourself so hard so that you can achieve it. It's going to literally flow in like naturally as you begin to allow more ease. And your future self's also letting you know that you're going to achieve your desire. Do not fear not achieving it from slowing down. You are achieving it, and you're actually achieving a higher version of it as you begin to allow more fun, relaxation, ease, and rejuvenation into your life. All of a sudden, the thing that you're desiring is going to literally flow in naturally and be a better outcome, a much better outcome than if you continue to push yourself in the way that you have. We also have the card of Two of Cups coming up next. Relaxation and seeing. There's a message from Spirit to also see the people that you love more. Spend more time with them. Spend more time with them in a way where you're truly present. Truly present, and it doesn't need to be productive. You can just enjoy more time with the people that you love. Do things that are going to rejuvenate you, that make you feel so good, right? Allow that. And allow yourself to be guided. To connect with things that you're like, oh, that fills my soul. I think there's going to be a new interest for you that's coming into your life that's going to really connect with your soul and really make you happy on the truest level. And you're going to discover it through more relaxation and more ease in your life. You're going to discover a new thing that's going to be really exciting for you, really fun for you. It might be like a new activity, new hobby, new idea, but it's only going to come through taking more time off. That's the only time that you're going to become aware and conscious of this new thing. Okay. Let me adjust the lighting here again. The sun is getting brighter. And then we also have this Two of Pentacles. Learning how to juggle things with balance. I also love that this card came up because this also fits in so well with what we've been talking about. This card talks about the balancing of two different things. How can we balance them so that we're not being overwhelmed and we're not juggling too many things to where we fall out of balance? Either you get to choose to start letting certain things go, or the universe is going to choose for you what those things are. And trust me, you're going to want to choose yourself because then you have much more ability to control how things are turning out for you. But it's time to start making time and room for balance and that rejuvenation. And you're going to be able to balance these things much greater. And in your future, I'm seeing a beautiful balance to where you just feel great. You just feel great and you're getting things done in a better way and you're getting better results from those things. Okay, we also have Three of Wands. This is going to help you expand into new things. And the things that you may be putting off right now in order to make room for rest and relaxation, they're going to come when they're meant to come. They're going to come back into your life when they're meant to come back. And your ability to work on them is going to be so much greater. And it's not that they're not going to get done. They're still going to get done. So Spirit is also saying, and your future self is also saying, don't worry if you're having to put certain things to the side right now. They're going to come back along in your future, and they're going to get done to a much greater scale, because you're going to have the energy and the ability and the balance to create it to a much better standard and a much better way. So keep that in mind as well. And let's go ahead and get into our next deck of cards. Let's see. What else do we have for my beautiful group fours? Okay, we have the law of destiny. It's written in the stars. What you wholeheartedly desire is your destiny. You don't need to force it. You don't need to force it. The things that you've been feeling, we can just allow them to come into our destiny and unfold naturally without the use of force. It's already yours. You don't need to be in the fear mindset of losing out or missing out. Of course, it doesn't mean that we should stop taking action entirely, but we need to find more balance in the way that we take action. We also have the law of oh my gosh, I can't even say this. This is such a tongue twister for me. Anyway, being reciprocative, okay? So give without expecting anything in return. Give without expecting anything in return. This is a message of give to yourself, give yourself things, and possibly even other people, but give yourself things without expecting it to be productive and lead to something else. You can give yourself a vacation without expecting, like, I'm expecting this to take me to the next level, or I'm expecting to get something out of this. No, sometimes we can just do things because we want to do them. Sometimes we can just have fun because we want to have fun. That's it. That's literally it. Sometimes we can give a gift to other people without expecting anything in return. Sometimes we can give a gift to ourselves without expecting that it needs to somehow feed into our future or feed into, sometimes we can just enjoy life. That's the message. Sometimes we can just enjoy life and create happiness just for the sake of creating happiness. Let's go ahead and see what other cards we get for you. See, we have nothing will come of this situation. Just because you're taking time off doesn't mean you're going to lose out on things, doesn't mean that things are going to all of a sudden change and fall out of order. We also have your dreams need a practical plan. Your dreams need a practical plan instead of, some of you are such high achievers that it's not very practical what you expect of yourself. You need a more practical, realistic plan. Something that actually fits into a daily schedule, and also look at the bigger picture. Look at the bigger picture of things. When we're living a life of pure productivity, that's not really the best bigger picture, but when we're living a life that we actually get to enjoy along the way, in the bigger picture, that's so much greater than anything we could ever achieve physically. But when we have a balance of both, that's a perfect balance, right? So let me go ahead and restart my camera really quick before it cuts out. Okay, we are back. And we're going to, ooh, there's a bunch of fallout cards. I was literally just picking these up off the table, and some cards are on the floor, and then some cards are still trying to come out. So we're gonna go ahead and read all of these since I didn't even need to shuffle that and we had so many come out. We have growth. The tallest oak tree once started as a seedling. Don't be afraid to start something new. So a new pattern in your life, a new schedule, growth. And remember, the tallest oak tree once started as a seedling. You don't need to rush to become the tallest. Naturally, you become the tallest by nurturing yourself. Trust me, every tree that's the tallest tree had a balance of nurture and growth. It didn't just grow. If you just grow without any nurture, you're going to run out of nutrients and probably become a not so sturdy tree and then fall over. It's just the same idea as the pillar card that we were talking about. If you rush something, it's not going to be built very well. It's not going to last a very long time. So the tallest oak tree once started as a seedling. You're not behind anyone. But if you have that good balance, you're going to come out great. So don't be afraid to create, oh my gosh, we're going to say, or actually, let's just go with this card now since it's right here. This is the best card. Whenever the wish card comes up, it's the universe telling you to make a wish and that it will be granted. What is your wish? Make a wish right now and make it count. Make it count. You can make wishes at any point in time, but whenever this card comes up, it's like a beautiful miracle in the moment where Spirit's coming down and saying, make a clear intention right now of what you desire, make it known, write it down, speak it out, make it clear what you desire, because that is going to be what you get. Make a wish with a dandelion in the wind. You don't have to actually make it with a dandelion, that's just what this card says. But make your wish and then blow it out into the ethers and allow that to then create your reality. The wish card, you literally get a wish right now. What is that wish? We also have humility. Flowers are unaware of each other's beauty. They bloom regardless. So stop comparing yourself to others. Stop feeling behind. Flowers are unaware of each other's beauty. They bloom regardless. And each flower is beautiful in its own unique way. Don't feel rushed because you're comparing yourself to others. Bloom regardless and realize that your blooming has nothing to do with anybody else's. And just because a certain flower is already fully bloomed and maybe you're only partially bloomed, don't feel rushed to get there. The more naturally you allow yourself to bloom out, the more beautiful that you'll allow your unfoldment to be. Okay? Opportunities. Unfurl like a fern, even without warm sunlight. You don't need to wait for somebody to give you permission or for the invitation to take an opportunity or to create an opportunity for yourself. You can create the opportunity whenever you want. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment to relax and rejuvenate. You can decide when that opportunity is. Strength. When your roots are deep, you need not fear the storm. Some of you are doing things out of a sense of fear. You maybe fear the consequences of not being productive. You may fear the consequences of taking time to relax. But when your roots are deep, you need not fear the storm. So Spirit has a message for you of to begin to reorganize your life to where you can root deeper into creating a very secure foundation for yourself, to where you're not fearing the storm. You feel comfortable. Create a stronger sense of security. Root deep into knowing who you are and knowing how you operate to where you can become the most efficient by creating better balance in your life. And then you need not fear the storm. Learn. Take a lesson from the owls, deeply observe the night, and you'll become a little wiser in the day. So observe the things that may not be so readily seen. Take a lesson from the owls. The owls are full of wisdom. Deeply observe the night, and you'll become a little wiser by the day. The night indicates your subconscious mind. What has your subconscious mind been telling you or needing? For example, the triggers card, which I believe the triggers card came up for you, right? Yeah, the triggers card. Observe deeply what those triggers might be, and as you get to know that part of yourself, you'll begin to heal those unseen aspects of you to where now you can grow in a brand new way. So, that is what we have for you, my beautiful and amazing group number 4s. This is time to begin rejuvenating your entire soul. Your future self is thanking you for that already, and you are going to reach your greatest potential by creating more balance in your life. You are going to reach your greatest potential and your greatest life, where things become very fun. Things become exciting, where you get your biggest wishes through the process of balance, through healing fears and triggers, where you get to enjoy life. Written in the stars, it's literally written in the stars, what you wholeheartedly desire is your destiny. Let's go and create that from the place of love, the place of strength, rather than through a place of fear and scarcity and lack. Let's create it from love, from ease, allow things to flow. Embody that energy. It is so important to embody that energy. When we embody that energy, that's what we end up creating with. Any energy that we put into something is the energy that we get out of it. So if we put the energy into our destiny with the energy of ease, with the energy of love, then that'll be the energy that we get back. So if you want to embody that, I did this also for group number 1, where I walked them through a little bit of a meditation, although their meditation was for a different purpose, for a different thing. I want to walk you through a meditation as well, group number 4. So this is a meditation where we can embody more ease and flow, okay? So if you want to do this, if you want to embody it through a little meditation, I'm going to walk you through that to end off this reading. If you are in a safe space right now, such as, you know, you are at home and you have the ability to meditate, definitely don't do this while driving. But you can come back to this meditation whenever you want to embody more ease and more flow into your life. So close your eyes, take a deep cleansing breath in, and then release any stagnant or hard energy, any triggering energy, any like tough energy that makes you feel like you need to uphold to a certain standard. Let that go. Begin to feel and tap into your heart's energy. And begin to feel what it would feel like if you had a bunch of ease in your life. If success came to you easy and you got to relax in a beautiful balance where you had a lot of energy, a lot of creativity behind everything that you did, and it just flowed out in a beautiful way, and you had a lot of time off to recuperate and relax. What does that feel like? What does that feel like when you allow your energy to have more ease? Don't allow any limitations to come into your mind right now to tell you it's not possible. Imagine now what it would feel like if that was already your life. What does that ease feel like? Begin to tap into your heart energy. Maybe even place your hands over your heart. Feel into your soul and tell your soul, I am abundant. I create with ease and flow. I allow myself to rest, relax, and rejuvenate in balanced ways. I am productive from a place of flow and creativity and ease. My life is full of abundant, beautiful energy. Everything is in flow. Success flows to me. Ideas flow to me. The ways in how to create the future I want flow to me with ease. I am in pure alignment with what I desire. I am living my dream. I create from a place of abundance. Embody that energy and feel that energy soaking into every cell of your being. Feel every cell in your body beginning to transform to the energy of ease and abundance and flow. Embodying the essence of balance. Realizing you are a magical being on this planet and you get to create any life that you desire. Embodying this essence of ease and breathing out with your exhale. Let go of any limitation, let go of any trigger, let go of any harshness, stagnant energy. Allow anything that no longer serves you to leave with your exhale. And now you begin to inhale more flow, more ease, more creativity. And it begins absorbing even deeper into every cell of your body, recoding your programs. Now you are in the program of ease. You're in the program of flow, where everything flows to you with absolute ease. Embody that even more. Feel that energy and then ask yourself, are there any epiphanies that your soul wants to give you right now around the idea of balance and ease? Is there any messages or any types of action that your spirit wants you to know in order to embody more ease? Allow any of those messages to come up, and if they do, you can write them down after this meditation and begin taking action in that way on those new messages. Breathing in one last time, breathing in the essence of ease and flow, feeling your energy becoming more flowy, feeling your energy becoming more free, feeling the essence of rejuvenation in your body, breathing out old expectations, and breathing in more flow. You feel that new energy locking in, and you set the intention that now you are going to begin to notice in your life things will flow with more ease. And that energy and that idea begins locking into every cell of your body, creating this new program in your body where everything will be with more ease and flow. You lock it in with one more deep breath in, and then exhaling anything else that no longer serves you. You can begin to open up your eyes and come back. And remember to write down, if you had any epiphanies or messages come to you through that meditation, you can write them down. You can also come back to this meditation to do it again in order to embody more of that ease. And that is a great meditation to get you into the energy of ease and flow. So I'm sending you so much love, my beautiful group number 4s. Thank you for joining me here in this video. That was your message from your future self. I'm sending you so much love, and hopefully I get to see you in my next video. Bye!